I had to think about it. What day is today? How many days ago was the weekend?
Yeah. I've recently realized, like, again, like how bad I am at text communication. But, you know, I think that, like, I'm just at a point now where I'm just going to tell people, and I'm not going to try to change. I think of all the things that, like, I could make me a better person. Like, it's not necessarily one of them. So I'm just going to be like, look, anybody that, like, gets my number from here now, or, like, that starts beginning, like, a written form of communication sequence with me, I'm just going to get ahead of it and be like, look, I'm a really bad texter. I have a really hard time deciphering tone of other people, and I have a really hard time making my tone decipherable to other people.
Isn't that why there's emojis?
Yeah, so you'd think, but sometimes my emojis get misread too. I think that, like, I'm always trying to say things in the least amount of words. So, like,
Well, it ends up being short.
So yeah, exactly.
Short.
Like, and people are like, damn, like, what's his fucking problem? You know, and like, I'm like, no, I'm perfectly happy. I just don't want to spend all my day sending this long message. So, like, I'll say to Laura, like, you know, sometimes we'll be in the car and, like, a message will come in. And she'll be like, who's that? You know, just making conversation. I'll be like, oh, so-and-so. He's asking if we're going to be available, you know, the weekend of the 23rd because he's got a party going on.
Oh, September?
Yeah. You know, and she's like, what are you saying? What are you saying? And I'm like, no, we got plans. And she's like, well, don't say thank you for the invite. Like, you know, like, we appreciate you thinking of us, but we unfortunately have plans. Like, God damn, bitch. Like, why don't I just call them?
Right. So I've been calling people more often recently just because I'm getting tired of texting.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So
can't relate. When I meet someone, when they ask for a phone number, I immediately tell them text, don't call because I won't pick up.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. Like, it all depends. Like, if it's going to be a long form of, I think my personal view is that texting is a short form of communication. So I don't want to get involved in a long text chain. Like, if this is a long text chain, I'd rather call and I can nip it in the bud probably in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, like, my thing is more like, if I'm texting somebody like, hey, what's up, because I haven't talked to them in a while,
Yeah.
like, I would rather just call them now.
Yeah. To me,
And
because
I'll text them and say like, hey, you got a couple minutes soon?
yeah, well, yeah, you would text first. You wouldn't just call. Well, back in the day, you just call.
Right, but so to me, that's the text is the short form of that is the logistics of a phone call.
For me, it's like, because I use multiple different forms of text. Depending on where the chat comes in, I have categorize them in my mind. If it's a Discord, I'm like, oh, we're chatting. If it's text, it might be something important. If it's messengers, it might be like a short chat. So like in my mind, when a chat, because I have multiple people, I have same people on multiple platforms, and depends on where I get messages from them.
So your text is important in your brain?
Text,
Yeah.
more so.
More so than a chat.
Yeah, because
Yes, I agree
It
there.
means you have my phone number.
Yeah. No, I agree there. I just mean that, like, I was just making sure I'm on the right page.
Yes.
So far, I still am.
Yeah, so like depends on where a message comes through, which program it comes through. I already put in my mind how long this chat might be and how important it is.
So for me, any social media chat is low
Instagram.
importance, with few exceptions. Instagram is the lowest.
Yeah, the lowest. Yes.
Yeah. The next up for me is Facebook Messenger.
Which is like, it's kind of a more messaging app than just social media at
Yes.
this point, unless it's a group chat. Then
Yes.
it depends.
And it's
I mean,
usually
it is standalone.
Yeah.
You can have Facebook
Messenger.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, because I don't have Facebook.
And it's usually more so for logistical stuff, for nerd rage stuff, for dummies stuff. Although the dummies chat does get a little out of hand from time to time. And then what else do I use it for? So I'm making arrangements, making plans, scheduling stuff, usually, often. And then my text messaging is more often than not a formal
Yes.
talk.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Then
I have to, keep it more.
and then a phone call to me is the most important, unless somebody hits me up in a text via and says something like, hey man, you got time to bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, I'm down to bullshit.
Yeah.
But if you didn't hit me up with a pre-bullshit text, I'm assuming that if you call,
It's important.
it's important.
Yeah, to me, a phone call is like almost emergency.
Or complicated.
And if it's not, then I get mad.
If it's complicated, I'll be like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
This makes sense why you wouldn't write this down.
Yeah, if it's
Because it could be not important, but complicated. and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm just like,
And then often I'll get done with the conversation, and if need be, I'll reintroduce the agreed upon thing in the text
form.
for a written code that we both have.
Yes.
So there's no misunderstandings later.
But that still comes with the text before. Like a cold call for me, it better be like an emergency almost. Like, or like something that needs immediate attention. Like you've called me before when you like needed, my key.
Yeah.
That to me is like, that's needs to be addressed right now. But like if I get a call and it's not that, like I'm already in a bad,
Like just hit you with a, what's up, dude?
I'm already in a bad mood.
and I guess it's kind of weird because like work stuff, like it used to be, for me, it used to be all just email.
Oh yeah, email.
Right.
I don't even use email for like actual communications anymore.
I hate that.
And now it's gotten to the point where I try not to email people. And I do like what Bobby said, where I send an email of the bullet points of our phone conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
email is like the most formal written form of texting.
Agreed.
That's for like business.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, but even business stuff, like, and I don't want to be constrained to that. I don't want to be sitting at the desk like, dear sir or ma'am.
Yeah.
Per my last email.
Per my last email.
So like I call, and I feel like, because I'm in a somewhat customer service kind of, like, as I'm selling things, the talking on the phone is kind of like where you make your money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anybody can AI can write a fucking email to sell you what I'm selling.
Right.
I can call me now too.
So like I'd rather call and then just send the email like, hey, just a quick follow up from our phone conversation. I'm gonna do this. You agreed to this. Have a great day.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep.
All right. Hey, something's better than nothing on the opening topic there. So, Farrell, you pass on your coffee first. Joey, how's your nerd week? And Chris is not with us again. He has let us know that daytimes are going to be very challenging for him for the upcoming future. I'm not sure exactly what that means. When I have a chance to talk to him more, I will. But he is not here today. We do have the idea of doing an After Dark at some point next week.
Yeah.
So he might be able to update us then, and along with 3 weeks of nerd weeks.
I mean, hotel stays.
And hotel stays.
So I was thinking about like I was thinking about human master race,
Okay.
but not what you think. When you hear,
How do you know?
when you hear master race, it's usually a bad thing.
Yes.
But I don't know why I was just drifting off thinking about shit. But you know how like we're all very different, right? But we're all humans. Height, weight, size,
Sure.
color, race. But we all came from like one place, supposed to. If
Yeah.
you believe in modern science.
Yeah.
Right? We all came from one place, we spread out. We
Yes.
all adapted to a bunch of different places.
Yes, but did interbreed with other similar things. Right?
Wait, so some of us still do.
Because but I mean, like there was like when shout out to Krista, but I mean like when Homo sapien, who was the more advanced, kind of spread out, Homo sapien encountered other similar bipedal speed that were kind of co-evolving at the
And
same
some of us
time.
still have some genetic material. From
Yes, and there's like a handful of them. Like people always think Homo sapien and Neanderthals like the two standouts, but there's like a handful of them.
Yeah, just like that bunch of different chips.
Yeah.
Well, like the fuck what horses and donkeys can fuck and they make mules. Is that
Yes,
is that,
something like that.
tigers and lions. Something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then there's mini ponies, miniature ponies.
So yeah, you can. And I mean, people are still now trying to fuck pigs and sheep, but I don't think they make babies.
Oh, I don't know if I got the right pads.
Alabama!
I do.
Wait, what?
You can, he was texting. He completely missed what we were talking
No,
about.
he's just disappointed that they can't make babies.
Yeah, they can't make. Man, bear pig.
How are you gonna have a animal pig human hybrid?
A Lambie?
But now in the modern days, we've been more interracial. Kids are more normalized, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember the South Park episode, and I was like,
Man Bear Pig?
Man Pig is one of them. But there were people coming from the future, but they were
Crab
like,
people?
Mexicans.
Oh, yes, they were. Well,
They were they were
it was a play on Mexicans, but it was really like this kind of like sometimes like what I feel like what I feel like the Bronx is like, where it's just like this homogenous mix.
Yes.
Right. Like every time I would like, I for those listening, I'm not just saying that arbitrarily. I spent a fair amount of my life on Fordham Road in the Bronx, and when I was there, almost anybody that I met that was a new person into my circle, and you start talking like, where's your parents from or whatever. Every person I met, I'd be like, they'd be like, what are you? And I'd be like, what are you? And they'd be like, well, I'm Italian, Puerto Rican, Irish, and black. I'm like, oh, okay. That's that. What a unique mix. And then I meet the next person. I'm like, what are you? Italian, Puerto Rican, Irish, and black.
It's just the mix.
Yeah. Bronxian.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, like, we all spread out and got all these new traits, and then we reintroducing, and like maybe that, and we find exotic, well, quote unquote. I don't think you're supposed to use that term. Call people exotic,
Okay.
but if
I'll scratch that one off my list too.
I don't know. It's just like Oriental. You can't call people Oriental.
Well, you can't call them a
supposedly.
rug.
Yes, because it's a rug and not a people. But it is the
I always call
Orient.
myself an Oriental, but yeah, because a lot of times you see mixed people and you find them attractive, but you're supposed to find whatever is like not you attractive or something.
Is that true?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's why people find the quote unquote exotic term.
Yes, but I don't like sometimes. So
Remember, I don't like Asian chicks because my mom's Asian.
yes.
I thought that's why you didn't like chicks.
But I think that sometimes with me, like we were talking about it somewhat recently, but like I can find something. For instance, Nicole Kidman, right? Mm-hmm. I think Nicole Kidman is beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I'm not attracted to.
Yeah, not sexually attracted.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
so I think that can go sometimes like I can find like a quote unquote exotic like that's and I think when I say exotic, like such a unique almost.
yeah, like that one blonde girl with the eyes like super far apart that's popular. She was.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know who you're talking about.
Is that fetal alcohol syndrome?
I don't know, but she's an actress that's very popular. She was in one of the X-Men movies.
Oh, I don't watch those.
One of the ones we didn't watch is like the Young Mutants or whatever.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, but she's popular, and people think she's beautiful, and I'm like, she has alien eyes.
Yeah. I think that's exotic.
Yes.
But like even like like chicks that like Amber Rose, like when she shaves her head, and like that makes that makes her exotic.
Perfect. So speaking of like, weird eyes, what about what's her name from Black Snake Moon? Was
Christina
Ricci?
Ricci?
Yeah, Christina Ricci.
Yeah, her forehead is exotic.
But she's still hot.
She is.
Sometimes people
But
with
she's
like
not. She's not like the definition.
She's not the classic beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Helena Bonham Carter is kind of in that pocket too. She's not the classic Hollywood beauty, but she's still very attractive.
Like Gallagher.
conventionally attractive, not conventionally attractive. I think
Right.
that's a term. But like sometimes like her Christina Ricci's forehead. Usually like big forehead is like a negative, but like
People put like
works
Juliette
on some
Lewis in that category. Like I personally don't find Juliette Lewis attractive, but people also compare my wife to her, which I find weird. But I know people do find her attractive.
There's a lot of actresses like that for me that I just don't see it. But it's a taste thing. But anyway, I was thinking in the future, how long will it take for us to have the master race where like we interbreed so much that like it become homogenous again?
I think there is like
it takes a long time for Japan because Japan is just fucking or Asia land in general.
I think there is
Where's
like
Asia land?
The land in the Orient.
I think there is somebody that has done a study on like certain parts of America that like they estimate by like 20. It's not that far.
Yeah,
It's like 2030 something.
Like
They're like that this area will be relatively.
Just trying to talk about my entire nerd week before we get to mine. Huh?
Is that it? Is that true? But like is like relatively homogenous. Which I like. My thing is, unfortunately, we'll still find something to fucking hate about each other.
Even when even when there's only one race.
Yeah.
I mean, we find a way to argue about.
But look at that one growing his hair out long.
I mean, yeah, we do
long.
that. We
right
do
now,
that
right now, 2-1, buddy.
Yeah, fucking long hair's taking over.
How do you feel about people filing their nails at work? I found it completely obnoxious, like nails on a chalkboard.
So
but like I also understood like her computer was updating at the time. And there's a 3-hour countdown timer. There's nothing else you could do other than sit there for 3 hours, and then she started filing her nails.
As a general rule,
Yeah.
I'm against.
Yes, same.
However, I have room for nuance. Okay. So is it your classic nail file or a metal nail file?
No, she's an emery board.
Yeah. That I can't handle.
Is it the noise?
It's the noise.
Yeah.
The sonics. I can't, like, it drives me. Like, my skin is, my hairs are standing up on my arm right now.
Just thinking about it?
Just thinking about it. That noise drives me nuts. But metal file, I can handle all day.
But the act itself is fine.
It's the hygienic element, right? Because, like, a file is like, you got nail bits
dust.
going everywhere, you know? Like, I have clipped my nails at work. Like, where my nails have been, like, they have been long to a point where it is getting in the way of my efficiency or perhaps posing a health risk. So I've gone to the trash can and just clipped them. But and if someone were to say, "Hey man, I can't handle that," I would 100% respect that and walk out of the room. But I'm going to have this done in 30 seconds. I'm not trying to give myself a manicure. I'm clipping the white parts off.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between toenails and fingernails?
100%.
And no, in this,
I'm Dr. Umar Johnson, my fingers.
You would, what the
no,
fuck?
I'm
Clipping
saying,
the
like,
white parts off.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, like, so, like, at work.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a time and place for thing, right? Like, I know you're not doing anything right now, so yeah, it's okay for you to file your nails, but it just seems like the wrong thing at the wrong place at the wrong time.
So I think bringing your feet out in general, not okay.
In public.
In public. Your raw feet.
Oh, so as long as you got gray tips on.
Yeah, you got gray tips on. You got some coverage, or like the little slips that women will wear, like in a high heel or something, like that little like onesie thing that goes over their toes. I'm good with that too. But if you got your raw feet out there just splaying
That's me.
around,
What about sandals?
I'm not okay with it.
Sandals with socks? That's a look.
Yeah, it's not my. Well, no, sandals with socks. I'm okay.
That's a weird look.
I'm okay.
Is that
Well, no,
old-
I'm not
old
talking
man thing.
I'm not talking about aesthetics. Because like if you're at the beach and you got your toes out, by all means. But like I'm just weird about people having. Well, I don't give that much of
Yeah.
a shit. But if you were to ask me, is it my preference for people to have their toes out just walking around, or my preference to cover motherfuckers' toes up? I would say cover motherfuckers' toes up.
So is it the location of the beach, or is it the amount of sand that's there?
I think it's the social acceptance of toes being free on the beach.
Oh, okay.
Because like you're gonna get like assuming you're gonna get wet.
Yeah, so I was thinking, like, if I brought like,
Yeah.
like a litter box and put regular sand in it, and then it would be okay.
Yeah, no, that would still be socially unacceptable.
Yeah, but also your job is not the traditional office, right?
Yes,
like an office seems like
I've never clipped my nails at an office job.
never.
No, yeah, that would be strange.
The windows. I mean, I was in a cubicle job yesterday. It was a
Yeah.
lady. Like I can see her cubicle from my cubicle. I can see her filing
Now,
and
so,
hear
like-
her filing her nails.
So like filing is crazy. Now, like if you like everybody gets it where it's just like a
little hangnail or
Hangnail.
something.
hangnail, and you're like, hey, like I got a little.
I just bite.
Yep, I got a little kit. I got to sort
I
this.
got
Flip that out real
Yeah.
quick. Move on with your life.
Yeah.
That's that's an emergency.
Agreed.
You know. You know, but if you bring the whole fucking thing
Kit.
out,
You got a kit.
yeah. No, man, when I worked in a fucking office, which is not a huge part of my work career, and somebody was painting their nails at their desk.
That's a thing too. You can smell it.
Yeah, the
Yeah, but it's like, it's like they've got the fucking things between their fingers to keep it.
And also that means they can't do anything with their fingers.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
yeah.
Like, oh no, I got to get the clear coat out, and then French tips. I'm going to do a little white
It's
at
like
the end.
you're at work. But like the only thing, the caveat yesterday was that like she could not. There was nothing she could do at work yesterday while she was there.
I still feel like you go sit in your car.
You can scroll on your.
scroll on your phone.
Yeah, you can scroll on your
Really?
phone. I think he's saying sit in the car to file your nails.
Oh yeah.
You can go sit in the parking lot, and
Or the bathroom.
Also, and it's not an emergency to file your nails. That's not something that needs to be done.
Yeah, but if you're saying she has nothing work related to do or
Yeah.
could do, then like I don't give a shit. Like go outside.
Yeah.
You know, put the nails back into the environment.
Ashes to ashes, nail dust to nail dust.
I was thinking about that too because I was in the. This lady had brought out a heater or something that like some kind of radiator or something that turned it on, and I'm like, that smell. And then she was talking about. I was wondering what the smell was, and she turned on the machine, and I'm just like, man, old school like radiators, the heat things. You know what I'm talking about? It looks like a fan except it's silver and it just fucking generates space heater.
Oh yeah, space heater. Yep.
And like you're just smelling people burning. That's what that smell is. Because it's just been sitting there collecting dust. And dust is just people.
Yeah.
And no wonder that smells so fucking awful.
It'd be better than that she brought out like a propane salamander.
What?
The little mini one, like. Christ.
People do like. I don't go to the office much, but like I find it so weird. The culture is so weird. I like working in an office. The job itself, being in a cubicle, doing my task, and being my own business I think that's great. But like the office culture is so weird to me. Like every time I go, I don't have my own cubicle. I sit at somebody else's cubicle, and it's all that I'm covering for. And it's always interesting seeing all the knickknacks at people's cubicles.
Yeah,
like yes, boss.
Here's a Mandalorian.
There's never. It's always some like cliche office shit.
Oh, really?
Like inspirational quotes, post-it notes.
Because I
always hated the coffee mugs.
The coffee mugs,
coffee
like
mugs,
the boss bitch stickers,
or just like where it has like the how angry they are at the world.
That was one of those.
Like
at the bottom, time for more happiness. Shut the fuck up.
The faux street signs, like no whining avenue.
Yes. So it's a thing like that. People just become office people, and they do that because I have not yet sat at an office cubicle that was not like that.
We are not, as a species, we are not meant to do that.
No.
Which is why.
But why did they all become the same thing?
But it goes to the absurdity when people are stuck in a cubicle like that.
Like I would have like little action figures, or whatever.
Did you ever see the hand grenade?
I don't think so.
Fake hand grenade and the pin. It says like pull here for complaints. Or something like that.
I get it, but no, I don't think I've probably seen something similar.
Yeah,
so original.
a new spot for me for my 10th scale figures.
I mean, that was what was great about The Office, right? Like both versions, the greatest version, the British version, and then the also very, very good version, the American version, was that like it was this like commentary on how bizarre the cubicle experience is.
Fucking inane conversation. Oh my god.
Small talk.
It's nothing but small talk all day, every day. It's never because we have small talk, but like eventually it goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Or we stop talking.
Yeah.
But like I've never heard a conversation get interesting at the office ever
because it's corporate
or deep.
Small talk.
Yeah, and I think part of that is in today's day, because I see it infiltrating my job as well, which is not an office job, but people are becoming afraid to say things. Like
exotic,
like exotic,
or Oriental.
At the concern of offending someone
of HR.
And I always tell like when we get new people, new employees, I'm like, look, we have a pretty good thing going here, and it's based on a couple things. And the first rule is if it's funny, it's funny. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if it's at your expense or your best friend on the workforce expense. It's funny. It's funny. Now if it's not funny, we'll address it. Mm-hmm. But if it's funny, it's funny.
What if you don't find it funny?
Thank you. That's my segue. Secondly, if you do not find it funny, it is your responsibility to bring it to us and let us know you don't find it funny. First.
Yes.
That's the first line of action.
Yes.
And those are the first two rules.
Third rule is you don't talk about.
But here's the thing. Here's like the
because like if a whole like a group of people is laughing, like they find it funny,
right?
But it could still be inappropriate though, because you can have a group of fucked up people.
So that's what it is. That's what it
is.
That's what it is.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, it's normally inappropriate. And my thing is with that, like knock on wood, I haven't had to deal with it ever. But if someone were to come and be like, "Hey, man, that really bothered me," I'd be like, "Okay, like I'll address it with the rest of our workforce, and we will try not to do that again." But it is like I'm going to be honest with you. This is where our angle was, or the person that was making it. This is where I think their angle was. It wasn't to really hurt your feelings and this, that, and the third. And think about the similar jokes that we make about that person and that are made about me and that are made, and so on and so forth. And if you can't handle this, just as a heads up, it's going to probably have a fallout effect of how you're treated here. Not to say you'll be treated poorly, but you're probably going to start feeling like an outsider because
people don't
we're going
wanna
to
talk
stop
around you.
talking about things around you.
Yeah.
Now, there might be something where like somebody comes and be like, hey, I wasn't feeling that. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'll sort that out. Don't worry about it. Like,
It went too far.
because it went too far.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean,
But when you play with fire, sometimes you get burned.
Yeah.
yeah. The thing is, you guys, you know, you guys aren't malicious.
Yeah.
You're not a group of malicious people.
Yeah,
sometimes
but
there
everybody's
is,
line is different.
Yeah,
You know, so
sometimes
like
there is a
and sometimes
group of malicious people.
we like I don't want to make this about us necessarily, but if you're attuned to it, we police ourselves. So like, let's say that you know you're with us and we're giving you a hard time because you're Chinese, you know, or British, pardon me, by way of Hong Kong, and we were giving you a hard time about it, right? But it was all playful,
Yeah.
you know. And then somebody made a comment that the rest of us were like, ugh, like that one might have gone too far. You'll see us shift the energy off of you and onto them.
Start shitting on them.
Well, start making fun of how that person thought that was funny. And then that person learns a little bit about where, you know, and then it kind of polices itself and everybody ends up finding the line.
You know where you don't learn that? Homeschool.
Yeah, agreed.
Or in an office cubicle.
Or you're right. I mean, but you feel like by the time you get to an office people, you should like know about shit like that. You know?
Yeah.
I finished Mindhunter season 2.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great story. A lot of it is like true to life, but like it's kind of a bummer because like it's a bummer for like, you know, there's a lot of characters you follow in a lot of shows. Like in this show, there's like at least 4 or 5 people you follow, and like everyone ends in a bummer. It's like, man, not even one of them. Well, not one of them are okay. So that's kind of a bummer. But like, it didn't like, ruin it or anything for me. It's not like I needed a happy ending. Like especially something that's based on real life. I'm like, yeah, man, real life is a bummer sometimes. But you know, it would have been like a couple of them were like decent people as portrayed. I'm like, oh, it would be nice for them to have a better ending than that.
And there's no season 3.
And there's no season 3. Also, I don't know if they need a season 3 because that part of the story is concluded. I don't know how much further they go. Like, it's like the program is being taken seriously. It's established. Like,
Well, I always thought that season 3 would have been cool to show, like, jump into the future where they're actually using it.
yes,
to-
because I mean they were already starting to use the profiling, and it's been
but
working
just to see how
in multiple cases. Is
how it's like progressed and
to yeah,
you know,
because
not necessarily show like the nuts and bolts of like how it evolved each step of the way, but skip forward to 2019 and say like now we've incorporated elements of like, you know, message board tracking and this is the kind of stuff that does whatever and like that. I thought that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
and also I think they were going.
And you don't need those characters anymore. If
No.
you jump 40
no,
years.
you can. Yeah, it's like just a show on the premise itself.
Right.
Even though you know you kind of like some of the characters, but also I think they had a third season in mind because they were introducing the BTK killer. Like they had like he was like in a snippet of him in like a lot of the episodes, but then it just like nothing
Right.
comes of it. But we also know he doesn't get caught till like 2005 or some shit. So like they would have to jump to that, and even then, like he kind of like didn't
Outed himself.
out himself because people can't help themselves.
Yeah, he
This
just
kind
kept
of
sending
people,
stuff.
yeah, because they like a lot of these serial killers want the limelight. Like
Yeah.
they don't want to get caught, but they want to be known at the same
Yeah,
time.
the notoriety and infamy almost.
Yeah. So it's interesting for sure. And we don't have a lot of serial killers, but we replace it nowadays, right? There seems to be a lot of serial killers. Like when they were talking in the 70s, there were like a handful of them in prison already and a handful of them on the loose. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like we have any serial killer cases currently.
Well, so what was the definition of serial killer?
I mean, people who kill people on a
Well, but it's-
regular basis with a
So
certain
it's
MO.
multiple murders with
Yeah.
the same MO?
Yeah.
Is it possible that they're just catching them earlier to the point before the point they can become serial killers?
Like catch. Well, we do catch people a lot better and faster and easier now. Not that we catch everybody, but
Right.
like with modern forensics and surveillance, we just be fucking
Oh,
catch
that's a good point.
So it's just
like you can't even be a serial killer. It's hard.
It's
to be
harder.
yeah, in the 70s, right? I'd imagine that the solve rate on these, so especially serial killers, where there might not be a ton of connection between the killer and the victim,
Yeah.
right? So harder to solve.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. I was talking to Krista. It's like, yeah, the only way you can actually get away with murder nowadays is if you just go to a random place and kill a rando.
Right.
Like,
And
you
then
can't
cover-
kill anything for any other any personal reason at all whatsoever nowadays.
Right. So, and then also to cover all your tracks against, surveillance, and your cell phone is pinging, and you use your credit card to get gasoline, and
Yeah. So,
cameras everywhere. So like, in the 70s and 60s, all these other serial killers that they're talking about, a lot of them had to learn how to do it, how to dispose of the body.
yeah.
But they're killing people that they have no connection with
Yeah.
without all the technology that the cops can use. So they have 3 or 4 murders before they even get to their MO.
Right.
And then now there's just an MO. There's no connection to the victims most of the time. So it's still a tough case for them to solve. But now they might catch people on the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you,
It's true. It's a good
And the other thing is, I'm thinking about the equivalent of today, which you have too much of, and I think it kind of replaces serial killers, and for the same purpose, is spree killers. We have so.
Oh yeah, like the mass shooter.
Didn't we have like 2 yesterday?
Yeah, we had that one in New York,
And then one somewhere else too, I think.
yeah, and there's been
But I mean,
also
there's like- it's just-
It's
just-
just stabbing one
It's just all the time. It's just all the time. Like
in like Colorado or something like that.
yeah. So it's just we don't have serial killers, but we just have people killing people.
So,
and,
to me, it's the same kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we've replaced serial killer with spree killers, and I think it might be worse. In a way,
I mean, I don't know. So like the DC sniper thing was
oh yeah, that was a serial killer.
that was a
Yeah.
serial killer, but almost kind of like hybriding into
Into the spree killer
spree, or yeah,
because he was
the
just
mass
killing
shooter.
people for
And
whatever.
that one was way worse to me than somebody going to a mall and shooting 6 people,
Well, the terror of somebody on the loose versus
because it was a long time, and people were like, what the fuck? Like, where do you even do? So this guy was getting gasoline. This person was shopping at a Home Depot. Like that
down the
was
street from where
and it was
working.
all so he could kill his wife.
right, and cover it up.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Like
That's yeah.
it's like
The creativity of human beings.
I mean, like, so, like, it's awful, and put him under the jail. I mean, whatever. Like, all that stuff. But in the same breath, I'm like, damn, like, I
hated that bitch.
who could write a movie that good?
Yeah,
Like,
We haven't had have I had DC Sniper movie?
I don't think so.
Which is wild.
docs. I think there's been some
Yeah.
docs, but nothing not like a fictional retelling.
yeah. So I mean, so he had to create a serial killer to hide the intention of killing one person.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's wild. It's like the escalation. It's like it's interesting.
But yeah, but I mean, it's all the worst. It's bad because of because of the terror of it, right? It's a terrorism, quote unquote, right? Because everyone's like in the area. Like I was working in the area at the time. People were just losing their shit.
Remember, it was like they thought it was the white box trucks.
Yes, yeah, and they kept
Yeah.
looking, and it was never a fucking, and it was not a white box truck at all.
But then you started thinking, you're like every time there's one, there's a white box truck, and then you're like, oh yeah, I wonder how many white. Holy shit, they're everywhere! God damn it, there's the most common vehicle
Yeah.
out there. Is a white box truck.
It'll be like, oh, it's an Amazon Prime delivery truck. I was like,
Oh my god!
And then
just stay in the basement.
and then it's like it turned out to be like Crown Vic or something that they had like
Yeah,
modified.
yeah.
And it's like if they would have said Crown
from the
Vic,
trunk.
it would have been equally terrifying
Yeah.
because there's a million of those in
Yep.
2000.
Because it's just normal shit.
So now it's just like a general sense of unease versus like a active like scare.
Well, I've also
everyone now has the back of their mind that someone could just start shooting anywhere they go. It's now just in public consciousness. The reason why a lot of people now won't sit with their back to the exits or keep an eye out for exits is like it's just in us that people who just start shooting people randomly.
It's weird. Like there's some
about
shit like even like I've heard it on the 5th where like there's been like at least 2 cases of like plotted, like planned, like in I don't know what the right word is, like breaking into like ICE type facilities and like killing people.
Oh,
In Texas, there's been at least 2,
the
if not
guards
more.
or the prisoners?
Guards. And I don't even know if there's prisoners at these specific facilities. But they're like it's not like random. I mean, I guess it's random in the sense that it doesn't happen all the time, but it's
Or random that they're not there to shoot a particular
correct.
agent.
Correct. But it's like they're plotted, they're like they know where the entrances are and the exits and all this shit. And like that to me is horrifying.
What, the people out there planning things?
Planning that level of so like if you take like Columbine, like
That was planned. Yeah.
it was planned in the sense that we're gonna do it, but it wasn't planned like this shit where it's like, okay, I know the cameras are here, like we can get them cut here, cut this gate link, get in here. Like that's a different type of it's like they were talking about with Bane in Dark Knight Rises, where they're like that's a person with a vision.
Right.
Well, there's also a heist. They were planning to get away with it, right? There's a difference when you plan to get away with it or you plan to just keep going till you die.
Right, but let's say like, I killed one little old mare, like, and that to me is like, fuck, man, like, because like, what if tomorrow's pharmacist, and they're like, plot, you know what I mean? Like,
Please.
come on,
You remember the one? I can't remember what state it was in. It was a school where they were planning to pull the fire alarm and shoot people as they came out,
Yes. I don't remember I remember that.
and he was like up in a tree or something like that. Like that one is just
yeah, that's fucking.
People. It's just,
yeah.
That fucking, like, I watched like the doc on that, not to turn this into too dark a pod, but like a doc on that Sandy Hook shit, and like that shit is like fucking, that wasn't, the way it went down wasn't planned in that sense. It's just like the way that the cards fell, but like what a fucking awful way for those cards to land.
Yeah, and then the next awful part was what's his fucking dick on
Oh, Alex fucking Jones. That guy's what a piece of
fucking
shit.
Piece of shit.
yeah. And he's still around. I mean, he lost a lot of stuff, but like he's still
Still kicking. And I don't think he ever truly paid what he was sued for.
We lost.
that's still
his company.
ongoing.
Yeah, but he had a fund that there's a dollar amount attached to that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was ever paid.
Yeah, because he was funneling money to his parents and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, but them finding these plotters before they did the thing, it's like the problem with like arguing about how much surveillance is too much surveillance. Like you can't have no surveillance and you can't have all surveillance, and like I understand we'll never agree on where that should sit.
Yeah.
Like you want to catch people, but you don't want to fucking be in everyone's business.
Right.
Well, yeah, so I mean,
Like, where do you fucking balance it? It's just too hard.
Yeah.
There's no right answer, I feel like.
Yeah.
yeah, like the idea of like thought police versus like,
Right.
I'm actively planning
Right.
to do something.
Right.
Well, Minority Report, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I found that I love that movie. And the premise of it.
And with most things, the
It's like,
issues,
you're definitely going to do this, so we're going to put you away. It's like, is that wrong? If you're definitely going to do it?
But what is definitely going to do it mean?
right, exactly. With most things, to me, it's not the rule or the idea. It's the person that has the power to enforce it. That's usually what it is with me. We're like I'm ultimately I'm cool with surveillance because I'm not doing anything that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, same, but
But who's using it?
yeah.
Who is that person, and to what extent?
And who
know?
decides what's like not okay or
Because I mean, and of course I'm reducing this to the absurd, as
Yeah.
they say, but like, one day it's like, look, this is here, we're not watching it, this is here just in case there's a fucking active shooter that walks onto these premises, that will alert us. We have an algorithm built in where it notifies handguns and blah, blah, whatever. I'm just whatever. Versus the next person that comes in is like, no, we're watching this all the time. And if you're jaywalking, it's going to pick up your face. We're going to charge you, because our city's in trouble and we need every dollar that we can get. So we're going to send a bill to your house for every fucking, like, no, motherfucker, fuck you.
There's the example of the NSA, right? The PRISM stuff, where it's like there's certain analysts that have access to the database to look, and they're supposed to be looking at the right things,
They never do because they're humans.
and they were looking up their ex-girlfriend.
yeah, always. They will always look up the ex-girlfriend. They will never not look up the ex-girlfriend.
Right.
Who needs a
that's for
reality
humans.
check? You ever heard Reality Check by Sway Lee? It's the most petty song ever written in human history.
Oh, yeah.
Who needs a reality check? I want to check your reality. I'm going to check on my ex and make sure she ain't doing better than me.
Yes.
But it's like they're intercepting the text messages,
Yep.
so they can see that she sent a nude picture to her new boyfriend.
Yep.
Right.
Or,
Yeah,
like,
every time. But that's why, like people think I'm sarcastic or or wrong or just being silly when I say like we're not there yet, but I'm going to and support AI for a lot of things and human governance when we get there, because like I
removes the
trust
human
the
element.
machine more than I trust a person.
So
That-
I want
when
to.
we get there.
I want to trust the machine more than I trust the person. But I don't trust any machine at all. 'Cause
Right,
half the
right.
time that motherfucker doesn't work right. From the goddamn toaster
or
to
it
the
was
motherfucker.
designed by a human.
Right.
So they designed in some sort of backdoor. So
Well,
to
I
speak,
mean that's the
you
thing.
know.
We're not there yet, but like a lot of human governance need to take humans out of it because people are the problem. People are people's problem. Like a majority of the time in your life, if you have issues, it's usually not an act of God. It's usually somebody.
Right.
Somebody responsible for why you're in a bad spot.
100 Bullets. The comic.
comic, yeah.
That's why that shit was so hard.
Yeah.
They just deliver you an attaché with all of the evidence that you need, along with one gun and 100 untraceable bullets, so you know exactly who fucked your life up.
Yep.
And it's up to you what you want to do.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
And
And
yes, I just needed one. Turns out I just needed one.
Yeah, what if you get the attaché and it's just one bullet and it's just all about you?
it's just your high school senior picture.
You're like, fuck.
Is there every bad decision you've ever made in your life that led you to where you are today?
That would be accountability. Accountability bullet. Account bullet.
Fuck. It was me.
I was my own worst enemy. Speaking of graphic novels, I finished watching Sandman.
Oh, did you?
There's going to be one more episode like tomorrow, but it's going to be like a
Epilogue.
side. The last episode is kind of an epilogue.
Oh, okay.
episode, but this other episode is like they're adapting a short of on death. Death had a comic.
yeah.
So it's like a spin-off,
Okay.
an episode spin-off. But I really, really, really enjoyed Sandman. Like I want to go back and read it now that I can understand it. But
I wanna read it too.
I thought it was great. I
just
think
don't-
you would.
I don't like it. It's like it gets between your toes.
Yeah.
And it's a man.
And he's like one of the worst Spider-Man villains.
So is he the worst though?
I didn't say he was the worst. I said one of.
They made him pretty cool in that really bad movie,
I agree.
right? And then Spider-Man 3,
agree.
it was an awful movie.
Awful.
But they made him pretty fucking cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I still think he's one of the worst.
But
Spider-Man, to be fair, I think has one of the better rogue galleries in Marvel.
yes. And Spider-Man Magic cards are coming out soon, and I wonder how they're gonna do. You see
Somebody-
Hasbro's report? Hasbro is like down $1 billion or something. Like
Oh,
that.
are they?
But Magic's up 16% year to year.
Oh, wow.
The best-selling set was Lord of the Rings. Like
Well, I mean,
a
the
couple.
fucking profit margin on that shit is just ridiculous.
Well, only if people buy it, right? So
Right.
a couple years ago, Lord of the Rings came out. It was the best-selling set at the time. They made $200 million in 6 months, and that was amazing.
I wonder how much one pack of Magic cards pays for.
Like,
Like, what's the percentage profit?
oh, like 1,000%. It's fucking cardboard.
You know, like, does one pack of Magic cards pay for the box?
Oh, way more than
Way more than the box.
The box of boxes?
Probably not.
You know what I mean? But I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
curious if I could,
like. I'd imagine that it costs about a cent.
does
'Cause-
one
'cause they're
box
printing- and they're
does
print-
one box of boxes cover the pallet?
Yeah, yeah.
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
for
Like,
sure.
that's how,
it's
like-
all profit.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Lord of the Rings sold $200 million in 6 months. Final Fantasy sold $200 million in 1 day, and it was before they were released.
Yeah, well,
It's
that's why
fucking-
they
but-
can't target pharmacists, because what will Magic do without you?
But the problem is, I think I don't think they're gonna be able to keep doing this, because sometimes you see something like this and like, oh, we can do this all the time. Like,
Well, what if they keep finding the niche though? You know, like the Final Fantasy niche, the Lord of the Rings niche.
What if they
but
just
then
came to
they
your
said Lord of
house
the Rings-
and saw the things that you were into, and then
Right.
Well, like-
because like
but
the
they
life is back in your eyes when you're talking about magic.
Yes, and Final Fantasy.
Because like, what if like I can't in my head I was going through it. I was like, well, I can't think of a reason why I would ever buy Magic the Gathering cards. And then my head went, what if they did Magic the Gathering?
Transformers.
They
No,
did Transformers. They didn't do that well. I mean, did okay.
True Romance.
Yeah,
You know, but it had to be something so niche for me, but it was right in my pocket.
but the thing is, they
Rockefeller.
They can't do
From
niche.
about 98 to 2002.
But that's the thing, they.
I play 50 Cent.
Well, he wasn't Rockefeller.
I know,
but I'm like, oh, I got the Memphis Bleak Chase card.
But the thing is that that's not the market, right? They're trying to find a crossover,
Right.
with the mass.
Right.
Like how
But
many
a nerd crossover.
How many of them are there? They thought Lord of the Rings was great, and then they found Final Fantasy. But like, what else can they do to make that kind of money?
Yeah,
in
to make
that short
that
amount
kind of
of
money,
time?
I don't know. Did they do Turtles? Did they do? I'm just pulling shit out of my
Yeah,
hat,
exactly.
you know?
I don't think there is many.
Yeah, I don't know.
if at all. So yeah, we'll see.
They
But
could
yeah,
do
Sandman's great.
they could do our porn thing.
Yeah, they could do a porn thing, but they would have a sort of whole other sub branch company that with a different name that's like under them somehow.
I ended up in a porn rabbit hole this morning.
I do that every day.
Not too long ago that I'm going to put in my notes. Just because it was like, huh, what a world we live in. But go ahead.
But I think you like comic books shit. You don't like TV, but it's short enough.
Yeah.
Do you watch the first season of Sandman?
No, I watched the first episode.
Okay. I mean, give it a try. I
think I need to give the books a try. That's what I think I really need in my life. I
okay.
think, and you know what? I think I would actually benefit right now from just reading a book. Like,
What's Not Nights is right there.
you're right. You're right. I'm reading a book that I want to
Books
read.
over here too.
So to be fair, I've read way more of these than I haven't.
Oh, there's more books.
Yeah, I've read all those. So the bottom that bottom row here, I have not read. And
Deadpool.
No, he has not.
No,
I don't.
not-
I say what parts of that one I know.
yeah, it's just that bottom row, and actually some underneath this DTOF, the big books down there at the bottom. Some of those I haven't read, and some of those, but it's not much. It's not much, and then of course on Nights, of course.
But apparently it's adapted really faithfully to the comics. And I quite enjoyed it. I like the visuals. I like the actors. I like the premise. I like all of it. I was surprised by the time it ended. I'm like,
So I'm not surprised just because it's deemed like it's in like the Watchmen category,
Yes.
you know, of like how people revere it. You know what I mean?
but
Like
I'm surprised why don't you want to give it a try of watching it?
I don't want to watch it because I didn't enjoy the first episode.
Oh, okay.
But I do want to read it and I do want to know the story. It's just been one of those things. I think because like
Because I feel like you're more
So it's-
likely to watch the show before you actually read the
so
book.
no.
Have you been reading lately?
No.
But you've been
But
watching.
two things can be true.
But you've been watching stuff lately.
Yeah, but not a
Even-
lot of shows.
right.
But to be fair, but anyway, either or, like I think it's just like so. I went in on that Kickstarter, the Transformer. I ended up going in on
Yes,
it.
yep.
So I went in on that, and I'm going to try to read that. I'm going to try, but it's the same thing with Sandman, where the art in Sandman is incredible. The art in Watchmen is incredible, but they are both of their time.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes I have a hard time dealing with art of its time because I want it to look like art of my time.
That's why you can watch shows. I mean, it's 2 seasons and done. It's the whole
No.
story.
That's not why I can't watch shows. It's why sometimes I have a hard time reading old books.
Right. I'm saying like you can eliminate that if there's a show of it.
And I think if the first show grabbed me, I would have.
You didn't like the first episode.
Yeah, it's not that I just like it.
It didn't grab you.
It didn't grab me.
Yeah.
You know, like similar to Umbrella Academy,
I
right?
never tried that. Maybe I should.
So like I watched the first show of that, and I was just like, I don't know if my life is better watching the rest of this.
I mean, your life is never really better watching it.
Sometimes I feel like, oh, dude, like I spent.
Like Chimp Crazy?
You like chimp, dude? Not for nothing. Not for nothing.
Fucking Pharaoh's nodding his head
Not for
with his eyes
nothing.
closed.
Yes. Yes.
I can't imagine my life
Without
without it.
it. You know, but like the truth is, and this is a bigger conversation than the ridiculousness of how it seems. But like, so my wife and I really enjoyed it. We would talk about it a lot. You know, then I introduced it to other friends of mine. Then we watched it together and we talked about it. So it became bigger than just watching a show. It became like a commune type of thing. And I think that it made my life better. right?
Plus, just the idea of having empathy for an animal
I mean,
that's so close, but like it.
yes,
Yeah.
but I feel like we should try to develop some more empathy for.
But that's how you
humans.
do it.
Everything.
You start with animals first.
If that's where you need to start.
I feel like it's easier. Like for me,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
very- it's easier for animals.
It's easier to
that's-
have empathy for animals. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's where you start. You know, Old Yeller,
It's some Artax.
Artax.
You gotta shed a tear,
and then
and
the final boss is Marley and me, or my dog Skip. My dog Skip is the final boss, and then once you graduate him, then you start worrying about humans. Then you've achieved enough pain where you can start tackling our bullshit.
And lastly, I quit socials.
Yes, you did.
I haven't uninstalled Instagram because I haven't figured out a way where I can. I haven't even answered my messages, but I don't want to. I need to go do that. I need to go. I have like 8 or 9 messages that I haven't looked at in a week. But that's only like a lot of people message me there, and I don't want to just like cut them out.
I mean, you gotta do what's best for
But
you.
like, I don't think there's an Instagram Messenger app.
No,
And I also do want to keep being able to look at shares. Like I said, I'm not scrolling my feed. I'm
right.
not looking anymore. But like, if someone
you're
shares
looking
something
at
to me,
our group.
yeah, group stuff.
which
like,
is
yeah.
which is really just Farrell and I sending it back and forth to each other now.
Well, because I mean, I was setting.
Because
I-
yeah, but you're out now, and Chris isn't active.
Yeah, he's not a big social media person, but like, yeah, I want to be able to, and not a lot of people send me stuff or just like pop culture in general. Like I would partake in those specific instances, but I just cannot.
Have you tried? And I'm not trying to convince you because I think everybody's life is probably better without
I mean, like,
socials.
I've quit Facebook like years ago, and
Yeah.
like I don't fucking miss it at all.
Right. Have you tried to reset your algorithm on Instagram?
I have not, but I'm not sure if that helps.
So
like
I think-
I'm doing that with YouTube now.
I think for me, like if I were to, if I wasn't able to handle it for whatever reason, or
It's just too much batch. Like,
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
You know how I get, man. I just can't.
and if I couldn't, I think what my first step would be to go through. And I was that concerned about it. Truthfully, I probably wouldn't be that concerned about it. I'd just be like, all right, that's it for that.
Right. I don't really miss it.
Yeah, then I would say just let it go.
I haven't used it in
Let
a
it go.
week.
You know what if you're that concerned about shares, I mean, not that mine are the only ones that matter. All shares matter, but like, just come through 10 minutes earlier for Nerd Rage, and I'll just run them by you real quick.
Because I mean, like a lot, like it's not like social media is all bad or whatever. Like
No.
there's a lot of I like memes.
It's
I
a
like funny
tool like
stuff.
anything else.
I like asses. I like kitties and both kinds.
Yeah.
And but like, but there's just so much negative. Even in the meme pages I follow, like
Yeah.
you just can't help but like see some like immediate comments, and I'm just like,
What was there one that like was like, oh, that's enough?
no, it's all of it. Just you know, part of the beginning of the end was is the math problem.
Which
It's just a math problem. It's a math problem.
They're all
Not even
over
a
Facebook.
Not
like
even
the order of operations?
yes, and how many people are adamant about how wrong they are. And
Yeah.
I just can't.
I
just fucking can't with how sure people are about how wrong they are.
Yeah, I mean that's a metaphor for the rest of it.
They were taught something in the 4th grade. They remembered it wrong, and they insist that's what it is. I'm just like,
What is it? So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
but it's that's what people remember,
Right.
And that's how they do it. But that's not how you do it.
How do you do it?
The order operation works from left to right, and it's not multiplication before division. They exist.
Yes, they exist together.
Coexist.
Same with addition and subtraction.
Correct.
Yes.
But people insist that it is one before the
Right,
other.
right.
And that's not how it fucking works.
Shout out to me for knowing addition and subtraction.
Even Bobby, the not numbers guy,
from the resource room
knows it
to your ears.
and how parentheses work.
Parentheses, exponents.
And how multiplications without the X sign works.
Just
Like,
to- yeah, 'cause
when you put a number next to it and a
parentheses, that's
like,
a multiplication.
It's just like simple. I'm getting mad about it right now.
Why? You're helping explain.
But people are so it's a symptom of the greater problem, right? Is that. But take it to serious
Yeah.
things and wider things.
I
and
agree.
that is fucking humans.
I
And-
agree.
And all the comments are not just math problems on any fucking thing I see. and even posts themselves are just fucking ignorant people saying ignorant things.
I agree.
And being completely sure of themselves.
Yeah. I always like
It makes me fucking angry.
one of my favorite arguments that I was not in. I love not being in arguments and just
Yes.
witnessing them.
Yeah, I don't
But
get into them.
I witnessed an argument from afar one time, and it was
What was his name? Afar?
Jafar.
Say Jafar, and he was very calm, cool, and collective, and the young lady that he was arguing with was not.
Did he tell her to calm down?
So no, I wish he would have, but arguably he had a better response. He said, "I just want you to take a minute and understand that just because you're getting louder doesn't make you more correct." And I was like, and I from afar gave him the Han Solo salute, the two fingers, like, and you know both of these people, by the way. Remind me afterwards.
Okay.
And it's between that and just like pain and suffering. That's
You
it's
mean the purpose of life?
yeah right correct though, like correct. I mean, you're not wrong, right? Everything I always said, everything that was born is destined to die, right? You birth something, you're killing it by default. That's what it is to me.
No, I mean, to me, it's you can't be alive if there is no death.
Right, and then also you
The
can't.
yin and the yang.
You have two wolves.
The Orientals.
They're both living in you.
There's also-
and depends on which one you feed the most.
They're both gay. That's why they're 69.
I'm 69.
You're gay.
I knew it.
But also, there's no life without pain. Like
There's no
this-
happiness without pain.
That's not. I don't know about that. But you're not. Nothing is guaranteed peace or happiness or joy. Nothing is. But everything is guaranteed pain and suffering. Every fucking thing is. And when I start thinking about stuff like that, it makes me.
What did DMX?
upset.
What did DMX say? Yeah, he did that too. And bacon, egg, and cheese. Easy on the bacon. High blood pressure.
Love my jokers, but one of my bitches.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. But to live is to suffer.
Yeah.
But I forget the next part.
Ah, see, you remember the important part.
Is to live is to suffer, but something else. But like, but to survive, or what is it? It's
You better look it up.
yeah,
And write
because
it down.
it's something that's like more important than living. Like
Yeah.
to live is to suffer, but to something else is to find meaning within the suffering.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a idea that's been rolling around my head since Japan.
Well, so like if you
Of just like looking around and seeing people go about their daily lives. If you people watch, if you sit and people watch, just at the airport, like everyone is at some sort of misery or pain.
To survive,
time.
to survive is to find meaning within the suffering.
so
It's just people like waddling around, like you're not comfortable, man.
yeah, but think about it. Like, imagine if there was peace all the time, right? It wouldn't be defined as peace.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
It
right.
would just be that is the way it is.
It's the to me the problem is like I've been trying to change my view on justice and things like that. It's a balance of things, right? To me, it's just
He said the magic word.
so much more bad things than they're good, and I know that it's probably not true, but like it just seems like the bad outweighs the good so much all the time around me that like it weighs me down, and I try to I'm trying to get rid of as much of it as possible.
So I do worry, and not to turn this into a therapy session about you, but I do worry, and I've told you this publicly, but I do worry about how much good times and positivity and all that you allow around you.
I try.
Pain is also a universal.
I think you've been trying more recently.
And I'm trying. Well, I'm trying to get rid of pain. The bad.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm talking.
it's both, right? It's a graph. You want to have more good times and bad times. So
There
you
is,
increase
but
good times and decrease bad
there
times.
is. I think that I would argue that level 10 good times versus level 5 bad times is worse than level 50 good times, level 45 bad times.
Right. Yes. Yeah, but that goes into like for myself, like bad outweighs good, and I try. I'm trying to change it, and I even like stop watching true crime stuff for a bit because even that like is starting to like bother me.
But I think sometimes, man, I have this conversation with Jaina sometimes. Jaina will come downstairs. Like she came off from work the other day, and she does it somewhat dramatically and theatrically now too. You know what I mean? Like it's a bit. She's playing into the bit.
Yeah.
Right. But she'll throw herself on the floor, throw herself on the couch, and just be like, "I'm never gonna find a boyfriend. I'm never gonna find this. I'm never gonna know love. And you knew love at 15, and you know
are a special case, Bobby."
So I tell her that, but you know, we'll go through these things, and it's a familiar dance to me, and I know my moves very well through this dance. But it always ends with a very uncomfortable moment for her, which is where I tell her that in order to find these things, this joy that you want, these connections that you want, you gotta go outside. You got to. You're not gonna find them on your iPad drawing your favorite manga character. Want a manga? Don't you want a manga? You're not going to find it there, and you're not going to find it watching reels on Instagram, and you're not going to find it sulking with your headphones on. You're not. You know, you got to go live. You know, and it's funny because this just happened recently, and I don't know if. Oh, so I've been trying to get her to start driving.
Yes.
Right? She doesn't want to. She's horrified,
It was
terrified,
crazy to
frightened,
me.
et cetera, et cetera.
The freedom of driving is amazing.
So she has a crush on this young lad, and she came in, threw herself on. The woe was it's all falling, rain clouds and et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, well, why don't you? We're gonna call him Jack for the sake of conversation. And I was like, well, why don't you hit up Jack and see if he wants to go see a movie? Oh, you can't drive. Why don't you go hit up Jack and go grab some appetizers or something at some bullshit restaurant and talk some shit while you're Oh, you can't drive. Why don't you go pick up Jack and just take a walk somewhere together? Because he doesn't live close. Oh, you can't drive. And guess who's not doing it? Me. For one, to save you the social embarrassment of it. And for two, because I don't want to. So this last time I did it, so then like the next day, Laura and her like went out to go pick up something, and she was like, "Hey, could I get some hours in? Could I get some?" And I don't know if I've finally done it or not, but you got to live, man. Like, and I think that like also
You got to find your Jack.
You got to find your Jack. Find your Jack, dude.
Bro.
And I think that like even little things like and I know it's just been logistics and things, but like I think that even when Selena's fall season starts, if hopefully your work schedule will work out, we're like, just come out, hang out. I know, but I'm saying like
crazy,
just having these things.
I've been trying. I got invited to. Okay, remember the one time I was playing Magic with not my normal group, and I was having a good time. One of those guys invited me, and I said yes.
Good.
Usually I would say no.
Good.
But I said yes, so I'm gonna go and meet new people and play new Magic.
Good. And I think that
I just need to balance because you still had a good time at Skull, and I did.
Yeah.
But like what you may or may not have known is I had to take breaks. It's great living in New York, so I had to go home for 15 to half an hour at a time, recollect myself and come back because I don't have it in me for that much interaction. But I'm trying.
Yeah. And I just think that it's like you said, balance and putting that more, because I think that you are very good at being content.
Yeah, I don't try not to ask too much.
Yeah, and I think that the contentness, it doesn't balance the bad.
It doesn't. You're right. Anyway, how are you, Pharaoh?
Miserable.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Hey, you look for Jack.
I'm sorry
I found
that you
it's not
are
worth it.
But I'm sorry. I don't want people to be miserable, but it feels nice to have someone that I feel like understand and can relate to things I'm talking about.
Yeah, miserable might be the wrong word.
Yes, but I feel like a lot of times in your eyes that you understand what I'm saying or what I'm feeling.
Yeah. So I'm normally just disappointed.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
In everything.
Yes.
In other people, in myself.
Especially people.
In the systems that we've created, I just feel like it's not optimal and nobody's trying to optimize the system.
And it's helplessness of not being able to do anything about it.
And then I just go, well, there's always Thailand.
You always so I think it's interesting because do you ever? I don't know what the opposite is
Of
Do you ever look for appointment?
I make doctor's appointments.
Do you ever look to be appointed?
Oh, to be content.
And the reason why I ask is because, like, I think if I were to find my baseline, and I think it's what made me successful in the review space, is that I'm dissatisfied. I'm always dissatisfied. I'm dissatisfied with fucking everything. So when I find these things that make me satisfied, the joy is through the fucking roof.
You can see it.
You know,
you can feel it.
What normally happens for me is when I find that I get caught up in it in the moment, and then I realize that it's fleeting, and then I start dreading the end of it, which brings,
I have that too.
Which brings it up faster.
So like Boar Bash, like I was like really satisfied at Boar Bash. Like I was like everything, not every component, but everything that mattered to me was in one place at one time. The level of intoxication,
Lucky.
the food, true. The food to eat, my family, and a good group of friends, and it was and even like the temperature and like everything. Like I took a moment and I was like, "Fuck, everything here is what I want."
You're right in the sweet spot.
I'm right in it.
Yeah.
And I relished it, but as soon as I relished it, I was like, "Oh, and." It's over in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like
somebody's going to be leaving soon.
But I did take a moment to be like, I'm going to soak this in because I don't know when the next time comes, so to speak.
Yeah, so it like how it's affected me is like I've stopped trying to plan things. Right? So instead of trying to say like, hey, like we're going to get these people together and then we're going to go here and then we're going to do this, then we're going to do that. I've just decided that I'm going to put the right elements together, and then we're just going to see if a great time ensues. And sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it's chaos and it's disaster. And then every once in a while you get this like, because I try to say like, I say yes a lot to like, like you put the elements of chaos together and you're like, well, let's see what happens. People are like, you want to do this? And I'm like, yep. And in my mind, I'm like, this is going to go really well or really poorly, and you just have to be available for both so that you can experience both, right? Because you eventually, if you do it enough times, you will experience both the highs and the lows,
right?
So I try to like do that more often and just be ready for it to be a low and say like, well, sometimes you got to have those in order to have the highs.
Yeah,
and it's just a part of it, and whatever.
I think that like I'm often. Like I'm usually I'm often up for a good time, but like I am the planner. There's very
and the scheduler.
Yeah, there's very rarely a case where I'm having a good time where I'm not solely responsible for it.
Normally I have to put
the pieces together. Right. So like,
but I just don't plan it like it's an itinerary. I plan it like I'm sitting in front of the witch's cauldron.
Yeah, like, I'm going to introduce these ingredients.
7 parts alcohol.
But they got to stir themselves.
3-part crazy lunatic friends.
But I think that like Boar Bash is one of those things that like when it clicks for me, it clicks in a very special place because I don't even have to plan it. I don't
just showed up
there.
I just have to show up.
Yeah.
And then control the aux at a certain point. But like for the most part, I just have to show up. And I think that like I think that on the other side of things, like I'm down to do it all the time, but I always feel guilty, like, because like my friend group, like Joey lives here, Chris lives 10 minutes away, 12 minutes away, whatever it is. But outside of that,
everybody's 45 plus.
Yeah. And like, hey, hey, I don't know if you got anything going on or not, because you're not inviting me to it, but I would like to have something going on, but I don't have anything necessarily to do. Do you want to come over? And like at a certain point, you're going to wear out motherfuckers' tire treads, So like I'm always reluctant to like keep. So I try to limit it to it was Skullstice and Halloween party, and then I tried to introduce a brunch thing that I don't know if I'm going to continue or not, but like just because I feel guilty constantly asking people, like, and they're like, yeah, here, okay, I guess I'll come. You know what I mean? Because I don't.
Well, and like, and the bigger events, you have to plan more,
Right.
right? So it's like, you know, a lot of my crazy adventures were like 3 people, right? Like the right 3 people on the right night,
Right.
you know. But yeah, I found myself in a lot of weird situations, and I'm like, how did I get here? And I'm like, oh, kind of all me,
Yeah, you introduced the components.
you know. But yeah, so I watched a few things. We'll start with Suicide Squad.
You did. I caught the last 10 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you finally watched the last. Yeah,
No. So like,
because you didn't finish it or something last time.
I had finished the Suicide
Yes.
Squad,
But not Suicide Squad.
Okay, you watched the second one first. That's right.
Yeah.
right? And I wish I would have watched the first one first.
I mean, yeah, that's usually how that works. Right?
That's fair.
Well, I mean,
I don't know how you got to watch the
Well,
second
I
one
don't think
first.
when he watched
Because it doesn't say 2 behind us. You don't. You
yeah, and he watched that way before he got so
Yeah.
he didn't know.
Yeah.
so, and I thought Suicide Squad was a better standalone movie from a movie standpoint, not necessarily the story or the characters or how it was filmed, but they did a better job of explaining, because I mean the first third of the movie is each character,
Yeah.
right, and going over exactly what's going on with them. In the Suicide Squad, they do a similar thing, but they did it as a reading the dossier off and selecting the team. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't
No.
the same backstory as seeing, you know, Deadshot actually do what he was doing, and then see the daughter element and everything like that. Even though, you know, we've all decided we don't like him as an actor anymore. 'Cause but yeah. So I thought it was a better movie than the second one. And then the second one, and I showed Bobby why I dislike the Weasel.
Why is that?
So at the very end of the movie, the Weasel comes out of the like he washes up on the shore and he wakes up, and then he gets up and he turns around and he runs off, and it fucking pisses me off.
It's goofy as fuck.
It is goofy as shit.
It's James Gunn, and that's the thing is like, and it's funny because like not necessarily the Ayer Suicide Squad, because it's not the best example of that type of movie.
Right.
But like if you take something like Man of Steel, you take something like Dark Knight, and you juxtapose it against the Suicide Squad, or you juxtapose it against Guardians of the Galaxy, and they are like the 2 main avenues of the shit. There's like the super serious emotional approach, and then there's like the super fun emotional approach.
Yeah.
And like it really comes down to ancient Greece. It really comes down to like, do you want to show up for a comedy or a drama?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a tragedy. And neither is wrong. It's just
different.
it's just the preference, and it's been the preference since the beginning of telling stories.
So yeah. So where was I going to go with that?
You hated the Weasel's run.
So mainly because you can tell it's an actor. And I just think about
Wizard, you shall not pass. Cut. Sir Ian.
so I can tell
I
it's
just
some,
pretend
I
to
can
be a
tell it's
wizard.
some dude wearing one of those like skin tight leotards with the little green balls.
Balls all over.
And I'm like,
mocap
this-
suit. Yes.
Like this motherfucker decided to run like that. And I'm like, fuck you.
He was directed to. I think.
And then also they shot it and they're like that'll do. And then the CGI came in and we're like, that'll do. And it got all the way through post, and then they put it in front of me and I had to watch it. Right. So the whole movie sucks because of the Weasel at the end. So I rewatched the Dark Knight series.
All 3 of them.
Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
I did not rewatch Dark Knight because I've seen it
Yeah, that's the one that everybody's seen 1,000 times.
seen it the most. So, but it had been a while since I watched Rises or Begin. So, rewatch those. Great, whatever. And then from like the what else did I watch? Anything else?
Aquaman.
Oh, I watched Aquaman.
The first one?
Yes.
There's two, right?
There is. And you know what's funny? Somebody was asking me about the second one yesterday, and I literally couldn't tell them anything about it. I know I've seen it.
I don't even.
But I was like, dude, I have no idea what that movie's about. I think him and Ocean Master end up teaming up against a common foe.
don't know who the foe is. It's not Willem Dafoe.
It might
He's
be.
in
It
but
might
it's not
be
Willem
Black
Dafoe.
Manta again. I just can't. I literally, it's like a fucking like blind spot in my memory.
You could have blacked out while you're watching the movie. Your brain turned off, and you didn't.
That could have
You saw
happened.
it, but you didn't watch it.
That could have happened.
You know, sometimes you read a book and you're like,
Yeah.
I've been reading with my eyes,
for 3 pages,
but not my
and-
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I enjoyed because it wasn't a great movie.
No. I watched it with him. I give it a C minus. I
That's not bad
I
for
did fall
your
asleep.
scores
I did fall
nowadays.
asleep during a portion of it because I was tired. But I was like watching it again. I was like, yeah, this is a C minus. And I've always remembered that movie as this movie is better than it should have been. And I still agree with that statement. It should have been worse.
Yeah,
It should have been worse, but it was better despite itself.
It ended up being a C minus, which is still better than it should have been.
so I enjoyed watching it in that specific context, right? Because it was like a lot of pausing, a lot of making jokes. You know, like
Bobby expositions.
Permission to come aboard.
yeah, it's just all that kind of shit, and then just you know a couple other.
I wish he would have had more, like tides up. High tide.
Yeah.
King's tide.
So I enjoyed watching it, but mainly because of the company and not because of the movie.
Cowabunga.
So I watched some other things on YouTube. So I watched this Surrounded. Have you seen that?
What is what,
So-
is that a movie show?
Oh,
Documentary?
I have seen it.
show.
I have seen it.
It's the 20 verses.
It's is that a YouTube show?
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
didn't
it's
even know they had
Jubilee.
20v1, as Drake said.
It's a Jubilee thing.
I know of that. I watch reaction videos to Jubilee stuff, but I never watched Jubilee stuff itself.
Yeah. So this one was Mehdi Hassan. He's a reporter. He used to be on CNN. Now he has his own independent thing. So he's a British national that is immigrated and become a naturalized U.S. citizen and his parents immigrated to the U.K. from India, right? So he's a Indian British American, and it was him versus 20 far right Republicans, who they could probably just change the title to 20 racist and fascist.
Because they were so far.
Yeah, they were the definition of far right, but I would not put Republican in there.
Right.
So there's
that's a
few-
problem with like labels. They just get like equated to each other nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one guy who I don't know how much he actually got to debate, because the whole thing being that you go up, there's a timer
Yeah.
for the subject, but then the rest of the 19 people that aren't sitting in the chair debating get to raise a red flag, and when the majority of them have their flag up, then that person gets removed and replaced.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how long he was actually up there, if he was, but at the very end of the episode, they kind of interviewed a couple of the people, and he was like, I thought that I was far right, but I'm not. Right. And so I don't want to say that all of them were.
They were like, I'm not
racist
far
and
enough,
fascist.
right? I'm just like over there, right?
But I mean, there was at one point there, and also like, who the fuck is? Why are they selecting these people? Right.
Full rage bait, bro. That's why I can't be watching this shit.
Yeah,
it's
which is why-
supposed to make you feel away, and I don't need that.
Yeah. So I have a couple thoughts on that too. But so there's one that's like this 20-something-year-old white kid wearing a Texas hat, right? And he's very young, and he's very angry immediately. And like Hassan says, like, well, like I moved here, like, and he's like, get out. We don't want you here. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like this is ridiculous.
That's not a debate, first of all. And who's we?
Yeah.
but
You got a mouse in your pocket?
and he's saying like I was born here. And it's like, the fuck is that? What does that even mean? Like he's like, my family was born here, and it's like, well, you go back far enough, and you weren't fucking born here.
Yeah, nobody was born here at some point.
And it was just very disheartening. And and the thing that I thought about, it also kind of equates to this. If you've seen the Sydney Sweeney commercial,
Oh, the
American
jeans
Eagle,
thing?
where she's talking about like good jeans.
I don't watch commercials, but I know who she is, and I know what jeans
She
are.
does a thing about good jeans. It's an American Eagle commercial
For their jeans.
for their jeans, but she's talking about also that she has good jeans, and they're comparing the two, right? Like
So there's a lot of
taking pride in her own appearance and then also juxtaposing it against these jeans and,
Well,
and
one-
using the double entendre.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are saying that this is like right wing Nazi propaganda, which is like
I don't know about that.
is like way too far, way too far.
Yeah.
Like she is attractive because of her genetics. Like she's not wrong,
and that's lottery. Jeans, you can make better jeans if you tried.
right? And so, but we're also American Eagle isn't saying the definition of beauty is white skin, blonde hair, blue eyes,
With big titties.
right? But that is an option because she is hot,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So
She's one of those. I don't find her face attractive, but that's neither here nor there.
But one of the things is that that American Eagle is capitalizing on the white nationalist feeling in America, putting this out there. And I was like, but hold on, but nobody said anything about Jubilee, who made $250,000-ish, whatever the metric comes out to be, for literally putting white nationalist, Nazi, fascist opinion and platforming them.
yeah.
Right.
Right. So it's like they're just making a fucking silly joke with a hot girl.
Yeah.
These guys one of them literally said, I'm a fascist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Because people are dumb.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are dumb.
I watched like 3 minutes of the Jordan Peterson one, and I had to turn it off before I punched my fucking phone.
He got smoked.
He got
by a couple-
smoked.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My favorite part of that was when he said, like, well, you're a Christian, right? And he was like, well, who said that? And like the name of the episode.
Yes.
Like, if you're not, then what are we doing?
What are you doing here?
You know what I find funny? A side note, I was just thinking about as you were talking about the far right, fascism, right? Which is that's where the far right ends, right? Is fascism. Like that's the end of the line, right? If you follow this theology all the way through to the most extreme thing possible, you end at fascism. In the left, you end at socialism. Like you end at those far extremes. But the interesting thing to
Is
me,
it socialism or communism?
okay, I'll take either for the sake of this conversation. The interesting thing to me about them that neither side, in my opinion, can see is they both end with government control.
It's kind of a circle, really. Instead of going left and right, you're just going around, and you kind of hit the same
And
spot.
It drives me
Yeah, because
nuts.
communism kind of turns into fascism too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It's a circle. It's not a line.
Yeah.
like
Right.
you go like it's like the Earth. If you go one way long,
not
enough,
like
you end up
not like a square.
you know,
Do it.
you put a water in a cup. It becomes the cup.
Becomes the cup.
Yeah, so that was disheartening, and it's like I want to have political debates again with people, but like what you were saying earlier, people are just so wrong yet so convinced they're right.
Yeah.
And it's tough to even debate. So I went to trivia on Monday night.
Well, as you do.
As I do.
As you do.
Well, I took a couple weeks.
Yeah,
off,
you did. It's
actually.
been inconsistent.
But yeah, I went back and I was talking to this. He's a regular there. He's a pilot for Southwest, right? And this and the hotel that's right across the street from the bar is a common hotel used by flight attendants and pilots because it's
Close to the airport.
proximity to BWI. So and he and I have sat at the same bar, within a seat or two of each other a number of times in the last couple of years. And, I've always known him to be like this, like in a political kind of way, like an idiot, right? Like he just regurgitates headlines, and then you start saying like, what do you mean by that? And there's nothing beyond. It's all
There's no thought. It's all service level.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like how can you go around like saying this stuff, repeating it without having like, you've never just been like, well, I don't know anything about that. Let me check. Let me just Google the word and then read like 2 lines. Like there's literally nothing there. So but we started talking about Thailand and I was like,
He probably brought it up.
no, so yeah. So the bartender and I were talking, and he was like, you know, I had mentioned it to him, and he's like, so when are you going to Thailand again? And I was like, oh, in January. And the guy's like, oh, really? Where? And I was like, oh, this motherfucker again. And he was like, yeah, I went to Pattaya in 2017, loved it. I've been going to Colombia recently, though. I kind of like that too. And I was like, well, tell me more about your Thailand experience.
Yeah.
45 minutes later, I was like, this guy's not so bad. Might be a fucking doof, but
Yeah.
he knows where to vacation. But yeah.
I feel that. Like sometimes like there's people in my professional space that like I'm like I may not hold in super high regard professionally, but I try not to fall into the pitfalls of like, well, then write the person off because then I'll have like a conversation with them
down to one particular thing.
Yeah, I'll have a conversation with them about something else. I'll be like, no, this guy fucking gets it. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
you know what I mean? He gets it in a different way, you know?
It's just different when you're at work and you have to work with a person. Because I've worked with people like that. I'm like, that's cool enough as a person, but I have to work with you. You have to work with me. And we're at work.
Yeah,
and
but-
you're
but-
not good at your job. So
But in my
can't.
space, it ends up becoming more than that. It ends up being a complete write-off. Fuck him, fuck it, you know, like, you know, blah, blah, blah.
That's common.
yeah,
That's common,
Yeah.
especially in politics.
yeah.
You know, and so like, even though I'm aware of it and aware of my own downfalls with this, like I still find myself, it's an easy pitfall, right? And see, I think that's everything.
All right. If something else comes to you, feel free to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. No, we're good.
So I saw Fantastic Four.
You were like, but you gave it a C?
C.
C.
Solid C.
Solid C.
Yeah. Yeah.
I give it a 7.5.
Oh, C.
yeah.
I thought this was a multilingual podcast.
So I write this down as I come out of the theater, right? And then I'll give some thoughts as I've sat with it for a few days. So going into this movie on Nerd Rage, it's documented. I was like, the ones that Pedro doesn't feel quite right to me, but Sue feels super off to me. I'm on record as saying that
Yes.
at this table.
Yep.
Oh, from the previews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sue, awesome. She ended up being my favorite character in the whole fucking movie. She's great. Next up, Ben, the Thing, great. So I wrote this note, and it's worth talking about because I wrote it just coming out. Johnny and Pedro feel off. Not Johnny and Reed,
yeah.
and not Pedro and whatever the fuck that guy's name is. Johnny and Pedro. And it's because I bought Johnny as the Human Torch. I just don't think they nailed his character quite right. Pedro doesn't feel like Reed Richards to me at all.
It's because he's shoved in there now.
Well, possibly that. Somebody also said that, like, on the Zoom meeting on Patreon, they were like, at the very minimum, he should have shaved his mustache. And I was like, you know what? Maybe. Now I can't get that out of my head. But it's something I never bought him as Reed Richards for the entire duration of the film. Never once.
Is it from your own baggage of what you think he should be?
No, because I was like, I'm not sure, but I'm on board coming in, and I was like, every time I saw him, I saw Pedro Pascal.
I mean, not baggage as in expecting the movie to be bad. Baggage as in who you have expectations of the character to be like.
I don't know. I guess it's at a certain point I can never fully divorce myself from that. But if I were to compare it to other things, right? Like, you take the only thing I can think of, right? And I'm pulling names out just as an example, easy examples, but like Robert Downey Jr. To me, like I always see Robert Downey Jr. in those movies. I see him as Robert Downey Jr. But I also see him as Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark. Do you know what I mean?
It's a dude playing a dude, pretending to be that dude.
At last. But I never saw Reed Richards at all. However, the way that they utilized his powers in this were great.
Okay.
Like he's like stretching all over the place, but it's like functional. Like he's climbing all over the place. Like he's like Spider-Man almost, you know, like I was like, damn, that works. So here's my thing. It's not a bad movie. It's a solid Marvel movie. Like it's on par, in my opinion, with most Marvel movies. It's kind of boring. Like it's kind of a boring movie. Like there's, and not that this makes a movie good or bad, but it does stand out in the genre. There's basically 2 action sequences in 2 hours.
Wow.
You know, now there's a montage where there's some other little stuff, but there's really 2 action sequences in 2 hours, and it does stand out when you're going to see a superhero movie.
But you've always been the one who don't need the action.
And I don't.
Yeah.
But I guess when it was this sparse, it was like, man, like this movie's kind of boring. It didn't bother me necessarily. Yeah. I was like, I actually wonder how this is going to go over with general audiences, because like it's kind of a lot of talking and figuring out the problem and stuff like that, which is very Fantastic Four-ish.
Yes.
But because it drops you in the space, you don't get to, in my opinion, really learn who the characters are as much, but there's time for that in the future. But I was just like, wow, like I wonder how this is going to go over, because there's like this fight sequence here and then this one here at the end.
It's probably pretty expensive to make more fighting scenes with those kinds of powers, right? I'm assuming budget has something to do with it.
But there's not a limit to the powers. It's kind of like the turtles in the cartoon where like they use their swords to cut pizza.
Yeah.
Like it's not an action sequence, but they're using the swords. Like Johnny Storm will turn into fire all the time, but like to like light up a room because it's dark.
Yeah.
you know, like the Thing is just always the Thing.
Yeah.
You know,
but as I'm saying, like it's already a lot of money going into special effects. Like to do more with a grander scale of like actions and stuff, it might be very costly.
Maybe. Mole Man is goofy, but not in a good way.
Mole Man? Mm-hmm. I didn't know Mole Man was in it.
He doesn't play a significant part, but he's like in it. And
Molina?
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm not passing judgment on it, but I'm just saying Mole Man should be goofy, but he should be goofy in the right way, and this felt goofy in the wrong way to me. And here's the thing that I found most surprising on the negative. The effects are touch and go. Specifically on the Thing, in 2 categories: the way his clothes move as he moves, and his mouth when he's talking. It's like you always feel like there's like the track is off or something. And once again, I'm not a big effects guy. I don't really give a shit. I can put it together in my head. I don't need the effects to be amazing. But it was noticeable. Like, wow, this is off.
Yeah, when it's off, it's actually worse than if it was just
poorly on. Yeah, it's true. Let's see, the movie. I said the movie's a solid story, though. It's concise. It's self-contained. It's just a good Marvel superhero movie. And then I said, that being said, I wish they made me care more by tying it to something that mattered to me, and that could have been to the characters themselves. You know, like I said, it feels like I was dropped in on the 3rd movie or the 2nd movie of a trilogy, and there's a charm to that, right? Where you don't have to learn
because we always complained about that before, where you don't need the fucking first movie anymore.
But the thing is, so you take like Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie, the Tom Holland one, like they don't go through the whole origin movie like with that. They just drop you in, but they still define those characters for you along the way. That is just a better telling, in my opinion. All right, so let me explain this. But I give it a 7.5. I recommend that people see it, or a solid C. So let me tell you about this porn thing that I found. So I get home, and I did the notes, and I ended up on Instagram scrolling, right? And I came across this comedian.
Oh, already coming.
A female comedian, and she's
just a female.
It's just a woman on stage.
A woman talking.
And I don't know that she's funny or not, because every time I see her, she's not actually telling a joke.
Okay.
She's always saying to the audience, "Who wants to go home with me?"
Which one is this?
So I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, this has hit my algorithm now like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like,
same lady.
Yeah, and I'm like, this must just be a bit that she does at the end. So I went to her Instagram page and I started scrolling through her content, and she says it pretty much all the time. Well, one guy said, I will, like yells it. And she's like, are you okay with being on camera? You know, and then people laugh at that, right? And then it becomes like something else. So then I was like, I backed out, went to the top of her page and clicked her like link tree.
Yeah.
Found an OnlyFans link. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go there, but I'll go to the next best thing. So I went to Twitter.
Otherwise known as the free OnlyFans.
And there on Twitter, she has tons of pornographic material.
With her,
So I got to think, her name is Kellfire.
Kellfire.
Kell Fire, like Hellfire, but with a K. And so I just got to thinking about the business model of it, and I do think it's incredibly smart. So your goal is to be a comedian, but you know it's a lot of people's goal, and it's hard to make that shit pop off. But you're put together, like you're put together. You know, so like she's not the most beautiful woman I've ever seen on the face of the planet, like Nicole Kidman. But in some ways, I'm more attracted to her than I am Nicole Kidman, to be fair. And so she goes, she does a show, and then she says at the end of the show, "Who wants to go home with me?" Somebody goes home with her, and they have sex, and then that content goes on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So it's like a twofer every night that she performs.
Yeah.
She gets a little bit of
Get that
comedy
dollar.
base, and then a little bit of. And I was like, what an interesting approach.
I feel like she's an OnlyFans girl that's using stand-up as a way to get her OnlyFans out there.
So I think it has. I think it has morphed into that due to the success of one over the other.
Because she's not funny. Because I have seen her.
Okay, I haven't. All I've seen her is basically say,
Like Instagram reels.
yeah, I'm saying just when I was going through them, the majority of them were either like skit stuff that wasn't on stage, which I don't really hold to the same place, or it was her on stage saying, "Who wants to go home with me?"
Right.
But I just thought it was like, what an interesting approach. That's probably successful for her.
Yeah,
like she found a pocket. That's not the pocket she wants. Maybe it's the back pocket or that little pocket in the front that you don't really
With coins in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Or a little tiny
Her
pocket.
prison pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your butthole.
So, all right. So the next thing, the South Park episode.
Oh, with I know of it.
Yes. So it's
didn't watch it
it's a
itself.
Trump-based episode. Obviously, having their go with him. It's funny as shit.
Oh, nice. I
It's funny as shit.
need to watch that then, I guess.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. It basically boils down to it seems anyway to me that like he has a very small penis, and the penis is pretty much dictating his actions. But like at the
Sounds right.
at the end, and I hate to spoil it for people, but at the end he like is walking across the desert and he collapses in the sand, and he's been walking across, and this isn't a cartoon, this is a real human being or AI.
Okay.
Hard to tell these days, but he's walking across the desert sands, and he starts off like in a 3-piece suit or whatever, a 2-piece suit, and he's slowly stripping it away. You know, jacket goes first, you know, shoes, pants, necktie, blah blah blah. He ends up butt naked on the desert sands, rolls over onto his back, you know, seemingly accepting his fate beneath the desert sun, and his penis slowly stands up, and he sees it looking down above his belly, and it says something like keep pushing. And he's like, "Will do," you know, or whatever. And it's funny, and like I thoroughly enjoyed it, so to speak. And I'm down to watch it again, like just to kind of fine tune it. I will say, so South Park has been doing a lot of like arcs recently across their seasons where it
They've
hasn't
been doing that for
some time. Yeah. I'm hoping that there's more to this, because this didn't have. Here comes my criticism. Definitely worth watching. Definitely funny. Strong recommend from me. Here comes my criticism of it. It didn't have that like uppercut South Park moment of like, fuck, they got him. You know, like the little diction is funny, but it's easy, right? Like it's like you know, usually they have something like, usually that's like a small point, as you might say, that ties into this bigger, like robust,
like the one where they use AI to write the script about AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't get that from this episode, but I don't know if this is the beginning of a new season, and perhaps we're in for the long haul here. You know,
So, like
Hopefully.
the
Yeah.
context of this is actually interesting too.
based around the Colbert shit.
Well,
and-
so Trump has effectively taken credit for Colbert being fired.
Fired, yeah.
right.
And a lot of that so the actual shady part of it is that what's that fucking parent company for the Lakers?
Viacom is Paramount's parent company.
Right, but so like they're trying to do a merger with Skydance,
Oh, okay.
right? So the only way they can do a merger with Skydance is if Trump's administration approves it. Right. So the whole lawsuit against them and everything like that, people are saying that this is him holding them hostage, saying, I will approve this, or I'll have my people approve this if you do
Get rid
certain
of-
things.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's an attack on free speech in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Right. So who owns Comedy Central and effectively South Park?
Right, it's Paramount.
Part of it. So they just signed this new deal. South Park did.
Yeah.
Right. And then the first thing they put out is
Shit, yeah, and that's great.
middle fingers to Trump.
Amazing.
And that's great. And there's another bit to it where like he's constantly like anytime anybody says anything negative to me, once again I'm reducing it to the absurd, but we'll get a cup of orange juice with ice. And a cup of orange juice comes with no ice, and they'd be like, "I'm suing," like he's like sue happy, and it was always for like $10 billion or some shit. Like, but like, yeah, it's a good episode. I'm just hoping that there's that like that fucking uppercut is coming, so to speak, because like it doesn't seem as smart as South Park usually does, but it is as funny as South Park usually does.
Yeah. So I'd imagine that a lot of this has to do with, I think we talked in an episode recently how there's a lot of people that don't know the facts behind stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Because they're all in that echo chamber. And South Park is one of the things that seems to cross political lines.
Yeah, they
right?
give everybody shit.
No, but I'm saying their audience.
Yeah, because they're funny and they give everybody shit. So like,
Yeah, and I think that also everybody that they give shit is true to like the way there is a cohesive moral thought, if you want to call it that, amongst how they see the world, which I would almost define as common sense more so than in a political standing.
yeah,
And they go to the absurd to point it out.
Yeah, and everybody is an equal opportunity offendee.
Right.
If you do something that violates common sense, we're on your ass.
But what I'm saying is like, so it's not just people that watch Fox News watch South Park, and it's not people that just watch CNN watch South Park.
Right.
That it kind of gets
Yeah.
a wider
Wide
audience.
audience,
Yeah.
So in a way, they kind of have to go in slow, even though they didn't really go in slow.
They did not.
But they can't really be throwing haymakers from the beginning, because then people will be like, I'm not going to watch this shit.
Yeah, I would say like, and maybe my uppercut is a bad example, but like I would say that like the haymakers are definitely there. Excuse me. It's just like it's like Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. Like Mike Tyson was throwing haymakers, but Lennox Lewis was more of a tactical fighter. Like just was like, wait, you're on your ass.
Right.
Wait, and and if you were to combine both of them, I feel like that's what South Park usually does. They haymake, and then right at the very end, they're like, here's the actual punchline.
Yeah.
And it isn't funny because life isn't funny. And it didn't have that. The actual punchline at the end of this was a punchline, and it was great, but it wasn't what I expect of them.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's going to be more.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Let's see. We already talked about Suicide Squad and Aquaman, so I can leave that alone. The baby had her birthday. She turned 9.
crazy.
And and it was cool. And she got to do a bunch of stuff that she wanted to do. And we went out to dinner, and it was fine. It wasn't anything crazy, but it's very interesting because like my other two kids were like, they, not to say they asked for the world, but like they definitely take advantage of the birthday weekend. You know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to go here. We're going to spend this much. We're going to, you know what I mean? Not spend this much in that terms, but
Yes.
it ends up being that, right?
Yeah.
And the baby is just like, she's so fucking happy to just be alive that like her requests are always like, okay. Like she's
That's
like,
it?
Yeah, she's like, all right, well, what do you want to do for your breakfast on your birthday? She's like, I would love a chocolate donut from Dunkin' Donuts. And it's like, okay, you know, like you could have the world, but it's like her
She's happy and
baseline
content.
is so fucking happy that she's just like, you know what would push this right over the edge? A fucking chocolate donut.
Others might be like, I want chocolate pancakes, French toast.
Exactly. That's both of my other kids.
I want a half a glass of orange juice,
Bacon,
an iced coffee,
100%. Homemade bagels to go with it. Like that's where my other kids go, and she's just not that. And like
So wholesome.
even for dinner, she was just like, I would like to go to the Derby and get a pizza, you know, and then everybody can get whatever they want, you know, and she's like perfectly happy going up there and having a pizza. Like, I hope she doesn't, I mean, she probably will, but I hope she doesn't lose it.
That reminds me. So, my little brother, but the oldest of my siblings, who's still significantly younger than me, his thing was he always wanted to go get snow crab legs for his birthday.
They are good.
Chinese buffet.
They were great.
As long as they're not cold.
So we go to Red Lobster, right? And he would order, you know, like a pound or whatever the fuck, and it would take him 2.5 hours to eat.
Because he was that thorough in the picking, or just he's a slow eater?
He was like soaking it in. Every, you know, it's like let it sit in the butter for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And like the whole family would be done, like on your like 7th refill of the whatever drink you're having, and he's looking over and he's like, sorry guys, just really enjoy this.
Yeah.
And it just became this like family joke. It was like, Jesus Christ, we got 7 hours for dinner tonight because it's gonna be fucking snow crab legs.
It's weird that in Europe, that's like 4 hours is normal for dinner. I hate it.
I'd hate that.
by European face.
It depends on what country I'm in.
It's always like I think France and Italy are famous for that shit. Like it's like a fucking event. I'm like, bro,
I'm in.
I cannot.
The UK, I'd be like, quick 15 minutes all to do it. But
I'd rather not at all.
The food is just garbage.
yeah, exactly. Like I could just sit there and gorge and drink for fucking 4 hours. Like that sounds like that's my birthday.
Well, I mean, you could keep the food. I'd just take the beer.
Yeah. But like, yeah, she was just, you know, she's just like, I don't know, like even in like the morning, like tomorrow morning when I see her, she'll just be like, how did you sleep? You know? And I'll be like, fine. You know, how'd you sleep? Great. You know, like it's just like you know, like what more could you ask for? I closed my eyes, I went to sleep, I woke up, the sleep was over. What else is there to talk about?
Yeah.
You know?
She's like, I woke up at this wonderful house with a wonderful set of parents,
Yeah.
and I've got my siblings here, and everything is just good. You're like,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Yeah. My other kid, Selena, is trying out for travel softball. And she went out for so she only wants to be part of one of two teams, right? The Heartbreakers, which is like the best team in the fucking state. And it's a cool name for a girls softball team too, I think. And then the Rippers, which is like a reputable team in the area, but nothing like, you know, whatever. So she said to us, she was like, I want to be in the Heartbreakers, or I want to be in the Rippers, or I want to play rec. And I said, okay, easy enough. So we did the Heartbreakers tryouts. And when I went to these Heartbreaker tryouts, I was like, oh, you ain't making this.
They're like,
They're good.
This is teaching me the difference between travel and rec. You know,
Also, I think your heart is the one that break it.
you are an all-star rec player and you are a mid heartbreaker. You know, so I told Laura, because Laura's of course like sitting by her phone waiting for the email whether she made it or not. And I was like, Laura, I'm telling you, I'm far from the sports expert. I wouldn't pick her. You know what I mean? Like, so, but she went out for this other team, the Rippers, which is not the all-star team, and like kind of held her own. Laura says, and I'm going to go tonight and I'll be the true judge of that. But I have faith in her. I think she's great. But anyway, it is like two things to this. So one, like just having to introduce your 12-year-old to rejection is a weird parenting step for me. Just another challenge, like another like tool in the toolbox of like,
I mean, is she not
I haven't had to do this.
Is she not like? Did she not realize that she might?
You realize it, but so I think that when your whole existence, your 12 trips around the sun, every time that you've ever wanted to be a part of something, you're welcome into that thing. You know, you want to be in the school band? Come on. You want to be in the school chorus? Come on in. You want to join a softball team? Come on in. And this is the first time where she had to try out. I'm going to see if I'm good enough. And then you have to hear you're not good enough. You know, and like, and she's handled it, in my opinion, with far more grace and emotional maturity than I specifically would have expected from her. But you know, it's funny. I just told her, I was like, look, I was like, you got to understand, like, you're in. It's. I don't know if this helped or didn't, but I was like, you remember when you were in 5th grade and you were at the top of the world, and then you went into 6th grade and you weren't shit. And I was like, even if you make this team, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be at the bottom of the barrel. You may not even get to play because they keep 13, 14 players and they only play and bat 9.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's a chance you might just ride the bench all year. But all of that training that they do is going to elevate your skill. So you will be a better player at the end of that year.
Well,
But-
you also have the opportunity to prove yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you got to be prepared for that. And I was like, and you got to be prepared that when you were in 4th grade, you may not have been ready to go into 6th grade. You know, and I had those conversations with her, and I don't know if it helped or not, but she handled it fairly well. So I was proud of her for that. And then we'll see what happens with the Rippers. But so the other side of this is there scouts that go to this shit. This is a whole fucking thing. I had no fucking idea.
Kids sports is crazy.
So this other team has hit us up and been like, look, we got your name because we saw Selena play. You know, we don't know if she got accepted into the Rippers or not, or the Heartbreakers, but we think it's a possibility that she did not, right? Which is their nice way of saying, like, we know she's not ready for that team. But we would love her, you know? And I'm like, all right, well, so this team, the Stars, said that they'd love to have you. And I was like, but, you know, you wanted the Heartbreakers or the Rippers or Rec. And this other team, the Stars, is a hike for us. It's down near PG County.
Okay.
So she was like, well, because now somebody wants her.
Yeah.
You know, and
To be fair, it is a travel league.
yes. But it's
You're right,
a lot of this travel league for this age group is like a lowercase t.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna have that conversation. Laura and I will have that conversation, and then Laura, Selena, and I will have that conversation. But it's just a. It's,
Well, it depends if the Ripper accept her, right? Because if the Ripper does, then she's obviously
correct. There's that too. So and I think she has a fair shot from what Laura was saying to getting on the Rippers.
It's nice. I mean, always nice to have a lifeboat in life, though, right? Always have a fallback. Even if this thing falls through, and not my top 2 choices, there's something else. If I really want something, it's good. It's good.
So anyway, it's just been a learning. I only bring it up because of the parenting element of it, where I'm like, this is new. This is a new chapter for me. But you know, live and learn.
You didn't have to do that with Jaina?
No, not really, because she's never really wanted to be a part of anything. except for she recently started volunteering. So she got accepted into that. She was in volleyball. She's done a bunch of bullshit.
Basketball?
Yeah,
Remember
basketball, but it was all just sign up and go. I could say that, like, when she was like in elementary school, she was tried out, for lack of a better term, for like an academic, like above standard academic, where they like took you out of school and put you in this like advanced
AP.
It was called Magnet.
Oh, yeah.
And like she got accepted into, but everything she's been accepted into, she's never been rejected except by like peers.
Yikes. Yeah.
You know, and we've tackled that. You know, and introduced her.
She has to drive and go outside. That's the solution.
Yeah, that's part of
Apparently.
it. It's part of it.
Gotta find your jack.
I have another concept to introduce, but we're doing great on time today, so I'm going to save it for another day. But it's about aging out of the potential for friendships, not friendships themselves, but potential for friendships. But I'll bring it up another time. We have some notes.
Yeah, thanks for sending them out.
Better late than never, they say.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I'll actually wait for Joey to come back from the bathroom before we start this. All right, so controversial one we got to start off with. But so Hulk Hogan passed.
Who's that?
He was a famous wrestler in the 80s.
And 90s.
And 90s? And I you would know better
And
than I.
maybe early 2000s.
Was he really that far along? I wish we had Chris here for this conversation.
Because he had like a resurgence in the late 90s, I believe.
Okay.
He went in the whole NWO
I remember
Black
that.
Shirt era.
I remember that.
That was like
That's a new world order.
new wrestling order. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Sorry, Chris.
So I put up a I saw all the controversy. Right?
Yeah.
Because Hulk Hogan has said terrible things, right?
Oh, like what?
I'll leave it to your Googles.
I get. I already know. I just wanted to see you squirm on that one.
And so I put up a post where I said, I am so happy that I am not a wrestling fan today because I already have enough problems dealing with being a Kanye fan and having to defend him. And then I underlined sometimes.
To be fair, it's the same kind of problem.
Yes, agreed. 100% agree with
So
you.
you could be a wrestling fan and just kind of
Well, I'm happy
repackage the argument.
But I'm happy I don't have to double dip. So because I get the conflicted nature of it, right? Like of the art versus the artist.
Yeah.
You know? And so I mean, I always say rest in peace and thoughts and prayers to his family, friends, and fans. That being said, like it is interesting to watch people navigate it. You know, how they feel about it. Especially when like you can't have a full blown conversation about it in an online space, you know.
Comments.
So anyway, on my story, which this is my favorite part of this whole thing, my story, I had a comment from a friend of mine who shall remain nameless to protect the innocent or guilty, depending on how you see it. But they responded and sent to me, Hulkamania is forever. And I responded to that and said, so is my beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
It's a great album.
It's a great album. But it's another one of those things where it's like it's interesting to watch how people navigate it. You know, and I'm for once I am happy to be removed.
Yeah, you get to watch. From the
Yeah, I get to
outside.
watch. I don't have any feelings. Hulk Hogan, wrestling never meant anything to me.
Yeah.
I was aware of it peripherally, but I was never a fan, capital F. I thought that the dude had a snake was cool.
Jake the Snake.
You know, I thought that was cool. Like just bringing a snake into this thing.
Yeah.
I loved Doink the Clown because he was just like chaos. But the rest of it, like I was always like, man, like even like people that I knew that played with the figures, you know, like they didn't move. They were just like one stuck pose, like almost rubber. They would just mash them against one another.
Yeah.
And there was something, yeah, exactly. And there was something to me that I was always like, man, the suits made me uncomfortable. I'm just gonna put it out there. The suits made me uncomfortable. I was like, I don't like this. This feels like grown men in their underwear.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. As a kid, it was a turn off to me. I mean, as an adult too, I guess. but
Now that I'm their age, I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, well, I think when I was an adult, as an adult, like I get it, you know. But as a kid, I was just like, whatever this is, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I was into it for a very short period of time, like 14 to 16. But I think that's just because, I mean, what wrestling, why I look at wrestling like is a way for specifically young men to process a lot of that emotion stuff, right? Because it's just a baseline anger, happiness, physical violence, competition. It's just that, and then it's turned into like a soap opera,
Right.
for that particular thing.
Chris always says that like hip hop is my wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, like I like all the characters. I like the competitive spirit. I like the, you know, how they compete with one another. I like to watch who wins and loses and track it and whether I'm into them or not, you know, which I think there's truth to, you know, and of course, like I also think that a large majority of those personas that I get in music are a propped up version of that person.
It's not,
you know,
not a real human.
yeah, I don't think it's entirely fraudulent either in most cases. I just think it's like this is an element of who I am, and I'm going to take this element and extrapolate it, you know, into something.
So it's interesting to me to think that like maybe some of these people, and this is not just wrestling, it's across all celebrities, maybe they're in the limelight too long. Right? Because like if Hulk Hogan would have said what he said in 1973, would it have been a controversy?
I don't know. Certainly not like it was when he said it.
Right? So it's like they're products of their time, just like our grandparents were products of their time and said things that we'd be like, Jesus Christ, you can't fucking say that.
Some people grow and change, some people don't.
Some people do.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes these celebrities, like they outlive their time.
And also they are out of touch with reality, so they don't get to change because they're stuck in a bubble.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he was just the Hulk,
Right.
right? He was Hulk Hogan. Went out. They didn't know what his name was. They just
Yeah. I have no idea. No idea.
Terry something.
Could be.
I think that's what it is. But
You know, I like he's Hulk Hogan, and I only know that from pop culture. You know, he's one of those inescapable ones. You know,
what was that?
he was in movies and shit.
Yeah,
I think he was
movie-
even in movies
He starred in some movies.
as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Like not the character.
the
but-
title was credited to Hulk Hogan.
Correct.
Yeah. So like, do you remember the movie like I Love You Man?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like I can't remember all the premises to it, but he's selling real estate in Southern California, and they run across another famous wrestler. I can't even remember who it was, and he's playing like he just calls him. And the guy's like, "Hey, that's a character I play. Like this is my actual name." He's like, "No, you're that guy."
Right.
You know, so it's like we do it to them all the time
Yeah.
anyway, and it's just an interesting concept that they.
Yeah. You know, and I'm sure, like, you know, because I mean, the shit that he said was fucking disgusting. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just, I also feel for the fans having to navigate it. You know, like because I get being a fan of the work and wanting to mourn it in some way, and then also feeling like you can't.
Even without the mourning, like the having, even when they're alive, you have to like deal with both aspects, like disgusting things that you don't agree with,
Right.
and still enjoying the work. It's like that.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to fans, family, and friends. Eyes of
Lou Ferrigno,
Oh, yeah.
I know you do, Arnold.
who played the Hulk.
The Hulk. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know, so he's saying like, "Oh, you're the Hulk," and he's like, "Actually, man, like, my name's Lou. Like,
Right.
it's a real person, just like you are, and I'm trying to enjoy lunch with my friend. If you could like fuck off."
Eyes of Wakanda trailer.
I don't.
They're forever, right?
Yeah. I didn't.
yeah.
It didn't do anything for me.
No,
I don't even know
neither.
what it's about. Having watched the trailer.
Nope.
So yeah, that didn't do anything for me. Peacemaker season 2. Not much more to me there either.
No, but I haven't watched season 1 to be fair. But I heard it was good, and I should try it. And I might at some point.
It's fun.
I do watch a decent amount of live action stuff nowadays.
It's fun in that same James Gunn-ish, Guardians of the Galaxy-ish, tongue-in-cheek, but it still loves the characters and it still has emotional beats, but it's definitely in the spirit of fun. And I probably will give that a chance because I relatively enjoyed the first season as well.
Okay.
Primitive War.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah, I've said this. I don't understand this premise entirely.
Neither do I. I didn't watch the first one, so
This is a sequel?
I thought it was, wasn't it?
No. I don't think so.
I thought when I went and watched the trailer, it said something about trailer 2.
Okay, trailer 2.
Second trailer.
Yes.
And I was about to say, I know I saw 2 in there.
But they go to Vietnam during the Vietnam War,
Yeah, I think it was like 68.
and the dinosaurs are just there.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things in those jungles.
That's true, but I like this better than the historical document.
We've had enough of the historical documents and movies.
So I feel like I could use a few more
You're
Vietnams.
getting older, and you need more of those.
No, I just need less World War II. I've seen
That's
them
what
all.
I'm saying.
Done it.
Like
I feel like I was there.
He's kind of like, we need to have a World War III so they can start fucking making movies about that.
I'm like, I feel like I stormed Normandy.
Well, because it's the last generation. The last generation is World War II, and your generation now, our generation is Vietnam.
But no, that's not
now-
my generation. That's like we should have
No,
been
to be interested when you get older and you need something to
older
watch.
shit. I got you.
You want to watch something. Like,
I'm more interested in the current shit. Like I want to know more about the current shit. Like movie wise.
Yeah, we got
Well,
40
that's-
years for that.
I know. It's a
The
bummer.
next year, when
I don't like it.
Fucking your
I
kids
don't like
get
that
old.
approach. I don't like that approach.
When your son-in-law is your age, then you can watch that shit together.
Yeah.
It is easier to lie about what happened. Right?
Later down the line.
If they made a movie about, Iraq or Iraq, and like we could be like, oh no, that didn't happen.
Well, but Generation Kill was great.
Yeah.
Like give me some more, like Black Hawk Down. It's great. Like I want to live in these days and times. Like
They're passing on by, bro.
yeah. Then there's of course SDCC was this past weekend. I actually
You got your Feral.
it's funny you say that. So for one,
You got your Feral.
2 ferals. You know what's better than one? So to me, from the outside looking in, 1,000 miles away.
Your eyes are really good. If you can see.
Yeah. This is the most exciting it's been for me
For you, yeah.
since before COVID. Once it all got shut down.
Yeah.
And it's funny because talking to Calum, he was there, and it's just via text, so there's no room for nuance. And I used half of it to make a joke at California's expense. So, but like,
Of course you would.
yeah, but talking to him, he was like, it was kind of a weird vibe there. It seemed kind of off, and I was like, it's fascinating only because from the outside, I was like, man, we're back, baby. We got a Feral announcement from X-Force. So my X-Force team is done. A lot of people sent me information on that, and I appreciate everybody thinking of me. And
Years.
we got another ender for me, which was Phoenix, Rachel Gray Phoenix.
Yep.
That concludes Excalibur for me. I didn't get as many mentions of that one in my DMs, but I've been more vocal about
you've
the
been
Feral.
very vocal about Feral.
And we also got a Mephisto.
Yep.
So I think I'm done.
Done.
I think that does it. Like that does it for me, which is like,
Congratulations.
yeah, like that will conclude a collection for me. A significant
Huge
collection.
A 300 plus figure collection.
Yeah. So it's like, man, like you're done. You fucking did it. Like we made it, baby. I couldn't be happier. And it's funny because I DM'd the Hasbro guy that was responsible for Marvel Legends some time ago, years ago.
Of course.
And I was like, hey man, I'm never the type of guy that does this shit, but always and never. Is there any chance that we're getting a Feral anytime soon? And his response was, I can't say, but I will tell you I love the 90s X-Men and I love Feral specifically. And I said, that's good enough for me. This was years ago.
Yeah.
Who knows if it had any bearing at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wrote him again this past weekend and I was like, got her. And he hearted it. Which is cool.
This weirdo.
Yeah, for sure. But I was so happy. Now just to come out before World War III kills us all, but like, it's a great day to be a Marvel Legends collector. And then, and they gave her side boob too. Didn't think they would do that, and they gave it to her.
Hey man, it's 2025. You can have side boob now.
It's nice. What else? There was the Transformers one, which was fine. I'm going to talk more about this.
The mainline stuff.
I'm going to talk more about this on Sit Down Saturday, this past Saturday. But Patreon already has it. And they did a G.I. Joe one, which I didn't find as impressive as a lot of their G.I. Joe ones, but it was still good. Ton of Mafex stuff that looked great.
Yes.
Lobo with the dog. The dog is a 1-point dog.
It's a 1 point.
Then there was Batgirl, Bruce Wayne.
Of course. Yeah,
but Ra's al Ghul, which I don't have a good Ra's al Ghul. I got a shitty Ra's al Ghul sitting out there in my collection. So so it was to me, once again, 1,000 miles away, outside looking in, I was like, hooray. Hooray.
A lot of stuff for you this time.
Hooray.
Sometimes years go by where like there's nothing for me here.
Yeah, they updated us on the True Romance 3 3/4 figures.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
That I'm more happy for you about than anything.
Yep, they're coming. I was pretty happy.
It's talking about niche shit, man. That is fucking reaching.
Yeah. So now we'll move on to questions, and I'll give you this here.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
If you too would like to give us a question. So here comes the first one. This is from Trey. He says, Iron Man. Hey guys, saw an interesting take on the whole Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Dr. Doom controversy. One of the powers Dr. Doom has is the power to possess bodies. So what if he just possessed a variant of Tony Stark and is making him do what he wants? Tony has the materials all ready to forge a Doom mask if Dr. Doom controls him too. The Avengers movies could show them trying to get Doom out of Tony's mind and body. Doom, knowing that a version of Tony defeated Thanos on a different Earth, might drive Doom to think he can gain ultimate control if he controls Tony.
What?
Yeah, you have to forgive Farrell on this one.
I mean, regardless, that's not my problem of how they go about doing it.
Exactly.
It's the multiverse thing. It's the retreading thing. It's like the comic book issue.
It's a complicated way of explaining something we don't want.
Yeah, or need.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. I think that works as well as anything. I just think that, what works even better? Victor Von Doom being Dr. Doom.
You can always fucking retroactively explain shit away or find a complicated thing to do what you want to do versus just,
I don't need to justify something I don't like by finding a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even
if it makes sense, I still don't like it.
Correct. Astartes Pete. Hello, lovely boys. Hope you're good. It's been a while since I said it, so let me start with a simple thank you for always being there to chase the Monday blues away. Makes all the difference to the week.
Sometimes we be talking about some dark shit. I don't know how that fares out for you.
Maybe we had to keep it balanced as well.
Yeah.
2 questions this week. First one is multi-part. My daughter just finished primary school, 11 years old, and I've had probably the most profound feeling of where did that time go? What was the last big one for you? Do you think it gets worse as you get older? And do you find yourself wondering if you spent that time well? So I guess this is just for me. So yes, but like at the same breath, like I do think about it from time to time. And there was one thing that you said one time that fucked me up, where you said that there's a day where your parents are holding you and put you down, and it's the last time that they ever picked you up.
Yep.
And ever since you said that, I tried to make... So I realized that I had already crossed that threshold with Jaina.
You can try.
So I went
throw
up,
your back out.
So I went upstairs and put some music on and got myself a little tipsy. And I was like, come here, you. And I picked her big awkward ass up, and she was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I'm having a moment with you, because this is going to be the last time I pick you up, and I'm going to put you down, but we're going to remember it, goddammit.
Really awkwardly. You definitely won't forget it.
But, her and I were both laughing. The fucking family was laughing. It became a moment, and I got to have it.
Love it.
So Selena, I think, was similar. Like, she had a hit that ended up it ended up winning the game, and then she ended up getting home later. But when she came home, she like jumped into my arms as like a grown ass kid, and actually Cody has it recorded.
Oh wow!
So like I have it, and like I don't even want to pick her up anymore because I feel like we got a good one.
It's like the good goodbye. You don't want to come back for the keys.
I'm like, let's leave it. We got a good one, but I think about that sort of stuff. But honestly, like, and I do get, like I remember getting rid of the car seat and thinking to myself, that's the last time I'm putting one of my kids in the car seat, and then getting rid of the booster, and then like, and getting rid of the stroller, like, and getting rid of the crib. That crib went through all 3 of my kids, and one day that motherfucker went out to pasture. And I remember taking in those moments and being like, that's the end of that. But I think I try to celebrate each phase. So like, I just look forward to the next one, and so, and you perhaps setting myself up for being dissatisfied, but like, like I'm enjoying this phase of like, this part of Jaina's life is my favorite that I've experienced with her, and maybe, maybe this is it for Selena and I, the softball bit. Maybe that's it. That maybe this is the height, or maybe it's not, we don't know. And
you find out,
and who knows what, but it's like, I try to just celebrate every moment. Like, okay, like now now you don't have to sit in a booster seat anymore. All right, well, look, we just finished, being out at this, taking Leia to fucking camp where she's got to fucking be a fucking actress or whatever, doing that whole bit.
Yeah.
And I pick her up at, whatever, 7 p.m. And I'm like, hey, we're just going 10 minutes down the road. We're taking back ways. Just sit up front with me. We'll ride together. you know, and just embracing the next moment.
Yeah.
You know, and not living so much for the previous, you know,
That's great.
or mourning the previous.
That's great mindset.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's natural. The older you get, the faster time seems, and
Yeah.
the more you look back, it's normal. But like, I don't know. I try not to, but I do regret many things. But there's no point. It doesn't help with anything.
Yeah, I regret actually my adult relationships, and not regret, but mourn.
Yeah.
My adult
Yeah,
relationships, even if I'm still super tight with them, but we just had a phase that was this at one point, and now it's not. It's this.
And it's a natural progression. It doesn't have to be anything bad. Sometimes like things run their course, and
Yeah.
then you just have to hold on. Like you had what you had, though. you
Yeah.
know?
Second, very much for Joey.
Yo.
Have you run the Arc Tempered Uth Duna?
I have not. I haven't logged back in since the last update, and I need to.
Okay,
That's for my signer.
He had an additional question about it, but I'll save that one, or I won't save it, but I'll skip it. And he said his first run was very choppy with sword and shield,
Oh, sword and shield guy.
but still came in at 12 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Peace and love.
I'll see what I can do with my switch axe.
And then our last one is from Paul C. He said, it's been a really rough week for celebrity deaths. The most controversial one was easily Hulk Hogan.
Wasn't there a third person that died too?
Ozzy, we talked about
Hulk
that
Hogan,
one.
and
Hulk
wasn't there a
Hogan.
third one?
Yeah, what's his name from Cosby Show?
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Theo,
That's right,
yeah.
Theo.
Damn, forgot about him already.
Malcolm Jamal Warner. For most of these, people would post something on social media and everyone give the obligatory care reaction. For Hogan, I just kept seeing constant actually comments, making sure that everyone knew he was a racist behind closed
I
doors.
saw a lot of rest in peace Ozzy in his comments section.
Did you?
Yeah.
You know, and then that Ozzy shit, there's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These comments were obviously from current wrestling fans who needed to spread that information to people who probably hadn't watched wrestling for the last 25 years. Hogan definitely had tainted his legacy in the wrestling world, but his impact on it was inarguable. I agree that he was not a good man behind closed doors, but I am able to still acknowledge his contributions. As has been mentioned on the show before, it's about separating the art from the artist. Who are the people, if any, were you able to successfully separate the art from the artist? So, I mean, I think we've kind of covered this.
Bobby's perfectly okay with most of it.
Yeah,
Except for Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is the one I struggle with. And I just know because he's actively playing a part in hurting people.
Actively hurting people, yeah.
Yeah. You know, like even like, let's take, let's switch races, which, I don't even believe in the concept really, but it just makes the
I
conversation
wish we had the
easier.
master race, bro.
Human master race.
Human master race.
But like, you take like Kanye's comments, right? Kanye's comments are negative and arguably hurtful comments.
They're pretty wacky too.
For sure. Some of them are extremely wacky. that stream of consciousness with him is just always fun for me to watch, even if I don't agree with it. But like the one where he was on Joe Rogan, it's like a famous clip, and I share it around every time I see it. But where he's talking about George Lucas being a narcissist, and he's like, George Lucas is a narcissist. He wrote Star Wars. What's the main character's name? Luke. Lucas. George Lucas. He kissed his sister. Like those things don't add up the way he thinks they add up, but it's just fun to watch him think. So with him, like he says arguably hurtful things,
Yeah.
but he's not actively hurting people directly. Right. And a guy like Tom Cruise, I know that the organization that he is a part of is hurting people. But here's the thing. And once again, I speak from a point of privilege, and I think it's the same thing with R. Kelly. I'm not a fan of a lot of the work they do. So I get the privilege to sit back and be like, yeah, fuck their whole catalog, or whatever. Like, I would feel, maybe I would feel differently if I was a huge fan of either. And then the rest of it, like, I love Mission Impossible. Just can't get enough of, doing the impossible. He's jumping out of a helicopter, but like through the blades this time.
What like Cosby
really
Show.
fast.
Yeah.
Because like he was pretty fucking heinous of a person, but that show was wholesome, and a lot of people loved it.
And we talked about it a bit last week. Like I can separate that one because like like he seems like a real monster.
Yeah.
You know, I would make the argument more monstrous than Hogan.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
right? Because you're not making comments, you're really destroying people's lives, and like not a few people,
lot.
like arguably between 60 and 70 people. You know, that's truly monstrous.
Yes.
However, and I don't think he should have got out of jail for it, even though that little dance was funny when he came out. I do think it was funny, and I'm sorry. I wish I didn't, but I do, and I had to be honest with myself and my audience. But it doesn't change, and I wanted to do every bit of jail time that he could have possibly done for it, and I do feel sad for the victims that he got out of that, right? However, it doesn't change the fact that the Huxtables were still kind of my blueprint for what a good family should be, and I think 2 staircases are a sign of success. Both of those things, you know, and like it doesn't change the fact that like, and this isn't a woe is me thing, but it doesn't change the fact that I didn't have an example in my life of what 2 loving parents looked like, and he, not, you know, lowercase h,
Yeah.
but he gave that to me.
Yeah.
You know, like that was my model of like, this is how a marriage actually works. So like, just because he did awful, monstrous things, does that change the fact that he may have helped my life? You know what I mean? Like, you know, what am I supposed to do with that?
It's hard to say how much impact that show had on your current life, family
Right.
life.
Right. You know? So, yeah. Anyway, that was a good show. And we'll be back next week, and then maybe a bonus the week after. I got to figure that out right after we close up here. Shout out to Chris on assignment. Shout out to Dante on Facebook, and shout out to Marilyn Phil on our notes and on Twitter.
Busy Bee.
Busy Bee. And with that,
Flappy labius.
Moist thighs.
tight dick player.